Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Welcome inside the Powassan Sportsplex for another edition of the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast. Whether you're watching on Flow Hockey or listening on YouTube, we are pleased to have you with us this evening, as it is the 5th matchup this season between the Powassan Voodoos and the Espanola Paper Kings, which has seen both teams take 2 games apiece from each other, most recently on the weekend, where the Paper Kings picked up a 6-3 victory at home over the Voodoos. I'm Ben Sargent, pleased to be joined by Brad Brooks. And Brad, it has been a back and forth between these two teams. Some close games, some blowouts. What do you need to see from the Voodoos tonight to see them come away with a victory?
I just think a strong defensive effort, a good 60 minutes of solid defensive hockey, and just back to the fundamentals.
All right, well, let's quickly take a look at our players to watch.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Well, for our players to watch, we're going to start off with the Espanola Paper Kings. We have former Voodoo, Owen Ferguson, who in that 6-3 game had a hat trick. So, Brad, going to be one of the guys to watch out for the Espanola tonight.
He's a dangerous player anytime he's on the ice, and you have to keep an eye on him at all time. And almost have a taxi, have a Voodoos player follow him around the ice, make sure he's in check.
51 points in 28 games played, 18 goals, 33 assists, almost a 2-point per game player, absolutely insane. And he's not even the top scoring player on the Paper Kings. That says a lot. That goes to Lucas Signoretti. On the Powassan side, however, we're going to be going here with Matthew McMillan, who picked up a pair of goals for the Voodoos in that 6-3 defeat. And he also right now leads the team with 34 points, 15 goals, 19 assists on the year.
Matthew McMillan, good for 16th in league scoring, going up against the Voodoos kind of have a balanced attack, and you've got contributors all up and down the lineup for the Voodoos, whereas the Paper Kings have 3 players in the top 5 in league points.
Well, if we take a look, there is an injury bug a little bit for the Powassan Voodoos. We see Justin Russo still out. Dylan McElhaney also not dressing. Russo is potentially, according to some inside sources, maybe back in the lineup this Friday when the Voodoos play the Greater Sudbury Cubs. But Alex Little, he was unfortunately barely been in the lineup this year. Only 9 games played in 28 games this season the Voodoos have played. But he has 9 points in those 9 games, including 3 goals. And I feel like once they get Alex Little back in this lineup, it could do a lot to really jolt this team that's been a very 500 team this season.
He's a guy who is very capable of being their best defender. He's the highest scoring defenseman in Voodoos history. And you're right, point-a-game player. Just can't stay healthy this year. Alex
Gase has kind of taken over that a little bit. He's got 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points in 24 games. So he's kind of taking over the load, but there is a bit, as we said, again, a bit of an injury bug. So outside of a guy like Matthew McMillan, I think seeing Tucker Shields come back might jolt his offense a little bit as well.
But you have to hope. This is a game where we've seen lately the Voodoos not playing their best hockey. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They need a spark. I mean, Espanola as well, 5-5 in their last 10, not indicative of the good season they're having. But yeah, something's got to give tonight. They're both coming off a loss.
Well, let's take a quick look at our starting goaltenders. As for the Voodoos, it'll be Dan Dorocolo, who's been absolutely stellar this season, at .285 goals against average. He's 10-8 in 19 starts, .924 save percentage. And on the other side, Andrew Galton, who is a guy who, if you follow the Battalion, he did have a start against the Battalion as he's a Sudbury Wolves prospect. Gave up 7 goals in that. And the only time he's played Powassan, he's given up 8 goals. So he's not a guy who likes to play in this area of Ontario.
Well, he's also a lot better than his numbers indicate. He's someone that the Voodoos know that they can get to, though, so look for them to strike early and often.
Yeah, he is in 15 games played, 9-5, 3.11 goals against average. It should be a tight game, but these games have been absolutely wild when you look at the history in the 4 meetings. It all started on the 30th of September when the Voodoos won 5-1, then the Paper Kings won 9-2, then the Voodoos won 8-4 and 6-3. So before we get started, we're going to take a quick look at the national anthems. As we're just about ready to get underway here in Powassan, it's Espanola and the Paper Kings. The Powassan Voodoos will be in their home dark green with the yellow striping. The Espanola Paper Kings in their road white with the lime green. A very aggressive color, but it's always a fun one to see them there. The referees in this game, Hillary Brennan and Charlie Giesler, Corey Claremont, Devin Marson on the lines as we are just about getting set again. Andrew Galton in net for the Espanola Paper Kings. Daniel Dorocolo getting the start yet again for the Powassan Voodoos, and we are just about set here for the 5th meeting of these two teams. Both teams kind of on opposite sides, where both are very similar in terms of points. The Voodoos 4 points out of first place of the Timmins Rock. Espanola find themselves all the way in 4th place in the West, though, as the West has been a very tough place to play. As we are just about set to get off, and the puck is dropped, and we get going with Matthew McMillan taking it right off the draw. Again, 2 goals in that last meeting between the two. Wraith Smith brings it in. Wraith Smith, who is absolutely on fire in the month of November, as the puck's in the Espanola zone, and out come the Paper Kings. Puck stamped all the way down, but it goes too far for an icing, and very quick 20 seconds in, we get our first whistle, Brad.
Well, you said lime green. It's borderline neon green. Those
that is
pants
true.
For Espanola are bright. But, like you said, fourth place in the West. They actually have more points, with 36 points. But they are fourth in the very loaded Western division there this year. So
it's a very fun one to watch when we take a look in the podcast every week. But, yeah, it's a tough go for the Western teams when you look at the disparity in the standings. If you get a chance, look it up on the NOJHL website as play gets back underway as down comes in Caden Cowell. Cowell brings it all the way around. He's being chased by Sturge. Cowell still has it in the near corner. Trying to get it back for Short. Short sends it back around the other way. Den Uden coming out for it. And it's played around for the Voodoos, and back come the Voodoos trying to break out. Sturge, his pass is way too far for Patrick. It's going to go down, and it's just going to be an icing call. And one of the guys the Voodoos did get back, though, is Zachary Wilson. He's a third-round pick for the Battalion, and he is a associated player, obviously, with the Battalion, but he's coming up, played one game so far, has an assist on the year. He's getting called up from the Trappers.
Well, and he's a very good player, so if anytime you can get a guy like that into your lineup, that's he's a difference maker, and obviously they're going to try and lean on him a little bit, as well as, guys like McMillan and Thompson. Guys
expected to be a regular is what we've heard up until at least the Christmas break, so that's this game and then Friday game against Greater Sudbury. Then they're on the road to Timmins before getting about a 2-week break until January 5th as play gets back underway. Patrick wins the face-off in the Voodoos zone. Voodoos trying to get it out. Here's Turner. Brings it off the ice, dumps it back down. And it goes down for icing.
1 minute into this game so far, and we've had a couple of icings. This is one of the slower starts to a hockey game you'll see. But trying to get things going here. And Ben's having some issues over here.
A little bit of technical difficulties, yeah. Got a bit of a dry throat.
Yeah.
That play now gets back underway. Sturge brings it up for Turner. Zach Turner trying to break through. He's able to dump it into the Espanola zone. And brought back by the Paper Kings. And now it's lost in the neutral zone. Dumped back down by Parker McClellan. And the Voodoos have it in their own zone, in the Espanola zone. Short tries to get up for Ferguson. Owen Ferguson, former Powassan player. Another puck comes up, and it's covered by Andrew Galton for a whistle.
We have yet to really see any sustained length of anything really here. A lot of whistles so far in the first couple minutes of play here, but Reese pinching in off the point and almost had a little bit of a chance there on Galton, but we get a whistle and a face-off out to Galton's right as Ben jumps back in here. He's having some trouble.
I was fine until the drop of the puck, and now it's one of those things as Lemke loses the face-off, and Espanola has it in their own zone.
I've been coughing a lot leading up to this game. I must have given to you here.
Yeah, we're both got a man down here, so
yeah.
I don't think this one's going on our broadcasting resume.
It might not.
And now the puck is stolen there by Lemke. He's got a man with him, but Lemke's pass in front is no good. Back come the other way, come the Paper Kings. As trying to get it through was Graydon Guthrie, but he is offside.
Again, just nothing. It seems like both teams are having trouble just getting the puck through the neutral zone here at this point. We're 2 minutes in, and like I said, that's the fifth or sixth whistle we've had. And I don't know if they're just still trying to feel each other out here or what, but.
Yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth. We've seen that a little bit in the Voodoos games of late, where it takes a little bit for the Voodoos to kind of get going, but they tend to play a pretty good neutral zone game, so it's hard to get the other team going as well.
Yeah.
Voodoos are the only ones with the shots, 2 shots to none in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. There's Nick Beattie playing it down. He's been getting some good minutes of late as well after scoring his first goal earlier in November, and that one's picked up by Galton, and he's going to hang on. And we talked again about Andrew Galton, the guy who the last time he faced the Voodoos, he gave up 8 in a 9-2 loss.
Yep.
And then he plays the Battalion and gives up 7 again,
I think
as
the very next
Sudbury
day,
Wolves.
right?
It's something that was very back-to-back, very close, yeah.
Yeah, so the Voodoos know that they can get to this guy, but that was a very composed save. He just made their own, what looked like a tip in front. So
That being said, he has great numbers, 311 goals against average, 919 save percentage in the Noge this year, and about 20. This is his 20th start. There's a chance out in front. Thompson can't quite get a chance on it. Now here's an opportunity for Wraith Smith. Again, he had probably about the hottest player you could think of in the month of November. He was absolutely on fire. In fact, that whole line was on fire as Wraith Smith now 26 points in 27 games, 12 goals, 14 assists, and he really kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of Voodoo fans.
Well, it's amazing what happens when you start getting a little bit of confidence out there. You start getting a couple more minutes of ice time per game. Puck starts going in for you, and those things just snowball.
Absolutely. Espanola comes back out. The long pass was looking for Ferguson, but Ferguson tripped at the blue line. He couldn't give back his composure. Here's Signoretti. He gets pushed off. A strong play there from Parker McClellan. McClellan's starting to see some more big-time plays as well. Here's a dump-in attempt. It's steered aside by Golden to the corner. Tucker Shields now, again, he's coming back. Still hasn't quite seen his season start, but here's a chance for Signoretti. Signoretti comes in, big save by DeRoccolo as he shuts the door at the 5-hole. And we have seen Lucas Signoretti, 62 points in 28 games played, but he is denied there.
That's one guy you don't want to see on a breakaway for Espanola here this game.
Absolutely.
That's an over 2 point per game player on a breakaway there. But great save by DeRoccolo.
26 goals, 26 assists.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Here's Ferguson now shot. Good pad save there by DeRoccolo. Another shot, but it goes wide through traffic. Espanola putting really good pressure here. And now Signoretti again tries to get in front. Good defensive play by Case to break that up. And now the Voodoos trying to get it out, but they're stuck in their own zone. Good high press here early on from the Paper Kings. Here's Reese Smetham getting to play this year with his brother Owen Smetham, who's looked really strong. Of course, Owen being a defenseman. Now they're fighting in the Espanola corner. Puck comes in, and there's a shot that was going wide by Ricci, but it's gloved down by Golden for a face-off.
I'm not sure if we're having wardrobe malfunctions out here or not, but the first 4 minutes of the game, we've seen 2 net guards on the ice, so I don't know what's happening.
And that has been a hot contention lately in the hockey world.
It is a hot-button issue right now.
After the unfortunate passing of a former NHL player.
Adam Johnson there.
Yeah. He was playing, I believe he was playing in Europe.
He was playing in England, yeah.
And we've seen that before. There was the Richard Zednik incident. There was another incident with the goaltender earlier. It's a horrible
Clinton
thing.
Malarchuk, yeah.
Absolutely horrible thing, and fortunately it has drawn a lot. It's not sexy as some people would say, but it is an important thing.
Very much so, yeah.
And thankfully we're seeing more awareness on that. Very similar to a lot of like the visors, right?
Yeah, it needs to become mandatory across the sport, no matter the league. Yeah.
And unfortunately it takes an incident like that for that to mandate, but It is what it is.
Yep.
And back the Espanola trying to break out as the Voodoos had some good pressure in the offensive zone but got no shots on. As now there's almost a bad giveaway from Zachary Wilson, playing only in his second game after getting called up by the Trappers. His first game since getting called up, but second game as for the Voodoos this season. The Voodoos getting it out to neutral ice, but it's just dumped back in by Pethick. Wilson has it. He digs it out of that was on top of the net and trying to get it out in front for Dan Uden. Now here's a shot from the point, and that's steered aside by DeRoccolo. A good shot from Aiden Pethick. Voodoos throwing the body around a little bit, but still can't get it out. Now get it out, and are able to get a change. But Espanola still controls it. Pethick tries to get it to Lines. Lines just gets it down. The first game that I called between these two was the first, I believe it was the first time they met here in the Sportsplex. It was an absolute brawl, and it all started on a Lines, a hit from Ryan Patrick on Lines that ended up getting to a point where there was about 4 or 5 Espanola players that got kicked out. Here's a shot from Smith that's blocked.
Wraith Smith is buzzing already.
Absolutely. Here's a chance in front. And it goes wide. A good opportunity there from Caden Dubois. Carson Ricci trying to get in. He gets knocked down by Dan Uden as he's able to get it back into the Voodoo zone. It's dumped in. Ricci looking at it. Ricci in the near corner. He tries to get it off to Dubois, but Goes all the way down back into the Paper Kings, and again, the back and forth continues. The Paper Kings again trying that long lead pass to Signoretti, but it goes for icing, and it seems so far, Brad, early in this game that the Voodoos are the Paper Kings trying to catch the Voodoos sleeping with these two-line passes.
Well, so far it's working for the most part. They've already sprung Signoretti on a break. They've had a couple of chances. Duracolo's been tested. He's had to make 3 really good saves so far in the first 6 minutes plus here.
13:49 to go in the opening frame. Scoreless here between these two, but if history has anything to say about it, there should be lots of goals on the docket.
I think we'll see some goals tonight.
You hear that? So you're taking the over.
I think I'm going to take the over, yeah.
Awesome. As here's a chance now. Ferguson coming in. That line again, you got to be careful. Ferguson and Signoretti.
Great pass.
As here's an opportunity, a chance in front. Patrick's shot is stopped by Galton, who has looked sharp early on, and that's a great glove save.
And Galton says, anything you can do, Duracolo, I can do better. That was all kinds of composure there. Just very calmly puts the glove out and rips that puck out of the air.
Absolutely. Again, Jack Lyons, Lucas Signoretti.
Yep.
And, of course, the third man on that, Owen Ferguson, the former Voodoo player. That's a line you got to watch out for. They have had some dangerous chances here in the opening 6.5 minutes.
Well, and the Paper Kings are one of the higher scoring teams in the league. So like I had mentioned in the pregame, this is going to take a really composed team defensive effort right here.
Absolutely. Puck is now on top of the net for the second time. This time it finally gets out, and that's where we start a little bit of the pushing and shoving. And I did mention that the first time these guys met in the Sportsplex, it was a very heated point, to the point where there was about 5 guys left on the Paper Kings bench, and that was just before the NOJHL showcase happened.
A 5's all you need.
Exactly. You might also notice Peter Goulet not on the bench for the Voodoos. He is out there with alongside Josh Hardiman. They're away for coaching Team Canada East, so congratulations to those guys for that opportunity as the Voodoos try to get out of their own zone, trying to lead a pass off there for Reese Smetham, but he can't. And now here's an opportunity. There's McMillan trying for the wraparound, but it goes off his stick. A great opportunity for Matthew McMillan to add to his team-leading 35th point of the year. Puck now comes down Smetham. Smetham trying to get it out in front there to McCarthy, but he's not able to do it. Now here's an opportunity. Dan Uden comes in. He's shot stopped by Duracolo, and again, another great save by Daniel Duracolo as he tries to go 5-hole. But it's denied by the Voodoos netminder.
So both goalies are the best players on the ice so far through almost halfway through the first period. We've seen a lot of great chances so far, 12 shots on net. I don't think it's going to be long before we see some goals here. Like these teams are clicking right now.
And the one thing that you see about the Paper Kings is they're a little small in terms of stature, but they are quick. Guys like, again, Ferguson, Signoretti, but even there, Dan Uden, a great opportunity.
Bit of a bigger body, Dan Uden, but also very fast. Yeah.
They are just breaking in between the Voodoos defense pair and causing some trouble. That's another breakaway opportunity. Now you're the Voodoos trying to break out, but that's a great play at the line to keep it in. And now here's Ferguson. He's got Signoretti with him. He tries it. Now here's an opportunity for Patrick. Patrick on the breakaway. He's coming down. He's being chased. His shot stopped by Galton. A great pad save as he kicks it out, as he was being chased down there by Owen Ferguson. Now here's Ferguson on the other way. His shot, he scores!
There it is.
Getting some revenge on his former team, Owen Ferguson goes to the bottom left-hand corner of Duracolo, and it's 1-0 Paper Kings at the 12:03 mark.
Looked like he might have gone 5-hole on Duracolo there, and I think that's really all Duracolo gave him. That was a great pass by Signoretti to spring him too.
Absolutely. Check that. I said the 12:03 mark. It's the 7:57 mark, 12:03 to go.
Right.
But either way, it is a early goal here for the Espanola Paper Kings, and as we said, it's just a matter of time. A lot of transition play between these two teams.
We had a feeling. We've seen quite a few odd man rushes already.
And it's probably going to continue that way as well. Both teams are trying to play a high-octane, almost like trying to spring a breakaway kind of game. And now here's a chance for the Voodoos to come back, as that's Chase Thompson still with the puck. He goes all the way around the Espanola zone, finally hands it off. Now trying to get back in front. McMillan tried to feed it out to him, but he couldn't get it, and now the puck goes back the other way into the Paper Kings zone. Paper Kings trying to come out. That puck goes off the skate of Lines, and it's picked up by Zachary Wilson. Bad pass to Lines right in front. His shot goes wide. And Wilson gets away with one as he gives a really bad pass that goes right into this high slot area for Jack Lyons. But Duracle comes up with a big save.
Did they get lucky there? That should be 2-0. What a unfortunate misplay that was.
The passing not sharp early on for the Voodoos at all as Horgan loses the puck at the Voodoos blue line. And now here's Chase Thompson. He just sends it down. They go off for a change. So on the bench, it'll be Josh Dale alongside assistant GM and now assistant coach Brent Tomlinson. As Tomlinson and Dale actually coached the Voodoos during the COVID season when the team was forced to take a leave of absence on there. And Tomlinson was also part of that Scott Ray Voodoos coaching staff that guided the Voodoos to 12 straight playoff wins, 3 playoff round sweeps with Voodoos championship seasons back in 2017. He's also a regional scout for the Erie Otters. That is a busy man.
A busy man, but a man that knows his hockey, obviously. He's well-versed and very capable.
You want to talk about how these teams are connected too? The GM, Mark Gagnon, for the Paper Kings, is also an assistant coach on that Voodoos championship team as well. So a lot of connections between. It's a small world here in the Node.
That's literally what I was just about to say.
Yeah. As there was a springing chance for Case, but as Voodoos try to break out of the zone again. Now, puck comes back in the Voodoo zone. They've got possession. A good little one-touch pass from Lemke. And now there's a chance for McCarthy trying to get to Case. Case shoots in. A good save by Galton. Though it's kind of a bad angle, but great positioning from the Paper Kings netminder.
Good job by the defense there, holding the Voodoos player to the outside. And, yeah, you got a pretty good shot away, but like you said, the angle wasn't great. So pretty easy for Galton to cut that off and make a nice save. Yeah,
I almost need Case to be a little bit deeper in the slot there, a little bit more to Galton's right-hand side. Yeah. But they'll try it here as taking the face-off there for the Voodoos will be Ryan Patrick. And now there's some confusion as they're trying to figure out who's going to take the face-off for the Paper Kings. But they finally figure it out, and it's won by Signoretti. Puck comes around, Owen Ferguson picks it up, and now he's trying to spring Signoretti. Signoretti with some speed comes through. Signoretti with a burst of speed. His shot goes up high and wide over the glove side of Duraculo. Now here's a shot from the point. It's stopped by Duraculo. Puck's loose in front of the slot. It comes loose. Signoretti now picks it up again. Signoretti trying to go around, and a backhand shot is stopped by Duraculo. And again, that speed to get through as we're going to take our mid-period break here. You're listening to the Average Joe's Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
So we are halfway through the opening period between the Paper Kings and the Voodoos, who, of course, have split the season series 2 games apiece so far. It's been pretty wild. 9-9 the shots, but the Paper Kings find themselves up 1-0, Brad.
Signoretti, I don't know if he made a bet with someone that he was going to score a backhand goal. I think that's 3 or 4 shots I've seen him take on the backhand. It's a wicked backhand. He's trying to put it up top shelf every time, but Duraculo's been equal to the task every time so far.
And right now it feels like, especially in the Voodoo zone, the Paper Kings are kind of just dancing right through the defense right now as they're kind of using their speed and nimbleness to get some great opportunities on Duraculo.
They're considerably smaller than most of the Voodoos players, but it seems like quite a bit faster. You're right. They're just kind of weaving through it, and it seems like doing what they want. Voodoos are kind of keeping them to the outside some of the time and not giving up a ton of great chances. But Signoretti and Ferguson out there, anything's possible with it for Espanola.
Both goalies have been a highlight so far, as on both sides, Golden and Duraculo both have made some great saves. Now here's a chance. Signoretti versus Patrick again, this time in the Voodoo zone as play gets underway again. 9:59 to go in the opening frame. Patrick wins it. Signoretti gets sent to the ice by Case, and now Case with it. He's on a kind of a break. He's got a man with him in Turner, but his shot goes right into the body of Galton for a faceoff.
That was a shot from distance, and Galton had no trouble seeing that from there.
Yeah, it feels like they almost need a little bit more space there, or a little bit more help, I should say, as he did have Turner with him, but
maybe get some bodies to the net before you try a shot like that too, right? Hope for a tip or a screen.
So they'll take it again. This time Lemke comes out. He'll again be facing off against Signoretti. Signoretti wins it, and up comes Owen Ferguson. He sends it down. Goes over the stick of Case. Case goes down. He's got his partner Carson Ricci with him as he sends it to him behind the net. Smetham trying to get it out. Smetham has it in his own zone. Almost a tough pass against Ferguson, but he gets it over to Case, and now Case tries to spring Lemke, but it hits off a Paper Kings player in the neutral zone, and that play's stopped. And now here's Ferguson, a nice play to kick it to his skate. He still has it on his stick. His shot goes wide. But a good chance from Owen Ferguson. Some nice hands there from the former Voodoo player. That goes off his stick, and now here's a chance for Smetham. As Smetham now fighting with it with a couple of Paper Kings players, Signoretti and Booth. But it comes loose to to McCarthy, whose shot gets steered aside by Golton. And now getting knocked off is McClelland, as he's kind of tied up there with Booth. Paper Kings trying to get back into the Voodoo zone. It's cleared past Zachary Wilson's outstretched hand, and now it comes down to McMillan. McMillan, he had Smith with him, but the puck kind of danced past him. But now here's Smith trying to make a play around the defender, but he can't. No, he still has it in the high slot, and the puck comes loose and gets kicked away by Golton.
Somehow he got a shot on net there from that play. It looked like a broken play coming in.
Well, it looked like one that it was either going to end up in the net or
going back the other way real quick.
It just seemed glued to the stick of Powassan as
Ray Smith, yeah.
Yeah, as McMillan comes down, he's fighting there hard with Spencer Horgan, the assistant captain, one of the assistant captains. Now his centering pass in front, but nobody was there. And now here's an opportunity for the Paper Kings in the form of Caden Cowell. Cowell looking in front for Dan Uden, but his pass finds nobody as it was a little bit too high up the ice. Now Sturge fighting in the corner. Now here's Dan Uden. His shot, he was going right blocker's side, but it goes off the blocker of DeRoccolo into the corner. And now McMillan looking for somebody, but couldn't quite get a good pass off to Smith, who was across the ice near the blue line. Powassan has it in their own zone. Sturge, he's looking up. He's got Thompson with him. Now Sturge gets a big hit from Nathan Saucier as it goes off the boards, and Golton's going to hold on. It's going to be another offensive zone faceoff for the Powassan Voodoos with 7:33 left to go.
DeRoccolo, I don't know how. He looks calm, composed. He looks really great so far in the first period. He just made a great blocker save. I don't know how he reacted in time, but credit to him. He's keeping his team in this game so far.
Absolutely. Face-off won by the Voodoos. There's a chance by Neat Beatty right off the draw. And it goes all the way back to the Voodoo zone. It's Alexander Case with it, but he's getting harassed there by Nicholas Saucier. And now Ricci, he's able to chest in time, get it onto the stick of Caden Dubois, but it goes out of play for a face-off that'll come outside of the zone.
Yeah, it looked like it hit off Caleb Dawson's arm and into the Espanola bench there, but for whatever reason, the Voodoos are having trouble gaining the Espanola zone with any speed.
Yep.
And when you can't gain the zone with speed and with momentum, you can't really set up and do what you want to do on offense. So. And
I think with Golden, who's covering a lot of pucks early, it's giving the Voodoos some chances to win the face-off draw and have possession right away.
Right.
So that might be a negative as well. But here back come the Paper Kings. Here's Sorry, his shot is blocked off of the leg of Ricci. And Tucker Shields has it. Again, his first game back coming off an injury. And now trying to spring Turner, but it is intercepted by Short. And then apparently gets called for a hand pass, which he does not agree with.
He passed it to himself. I'm not sure what the whistle was there, but
either way, they'll take it right at center ice. They're going to take it right outside the zone of the Paper Kings, where they deem it necessary. Again, Paper Kings up 1-0 so far. 6:53 left to go. And
my bad for those of you listening on YouTube. I'm a little delayed getting the score up there.
It's okay. You had one job. It is what it is. As the puck gets dumped in by the Paper Kings into the zone of the Voodoos, and again it comes out to the neutral zone. And Voodoos, all they can do, it seems, is clear. Haven't been able to go on the offense, but we'll see if anything can change in the next 6.5 minutes. Puck still down there. The lines fighting with Shields as Shields gets up. And now here's Zach Wilson, who has looked all right in his second Voodoos game. First one since getting called up. Now a puck bounces off the boards and almost a great opportunity in front as Rampersand, now his pass is going to go wide. And it's Ryan Patrick is able to clear it out. And now again, Golton picks it up and he's going to cover it. He still wants to cover it. Finally gives it up to his defenseman. Again, we've talked about him wanting to just immediately cover up the puck, and it seems like he's not confident enough to play it.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I think the ref might have told him to play it there.
Yeah, there was no one around him, and you could tell he kind of let his hand off of it, so either way. You kind of got to keep the puck moving, though, with the way that the Voodoos are playing. So we'll see if there's any change to that. 12-10 the shots, by the way, in favor of the Voodoos so far, as they're strumming now in the far corner in the Voodoos zone. They're trying to get somebody to play. It goes all the way back to the point, and Espanola with a chance. Here's a shot from the point. That one is off of Durocolo's stick, and it's cleared out by the Voodoos. Now the Voodoos are looking to go in transition. McMillan trying to make a nice little backhand pass to Smith, and now again McMillan steals it from short. Here's Smith, a chance, an opportunity. He's got Thompson with it. Over to Thompson, his shot stopped. What a save from Andrew Golden, going side to side as he gets a pad on it and keeps this game 1-0. But here's an opportunity there for Smith, and he can't put it in.
Oh my goodness.
Espanola just getting a defenseman, just getting a stick on it.
Andrew Golden.
And now here's Thompson the other way. Best shift so far from the Voodoos. His shot up near the mask of Golden, but he stops. The puck comes out to Signoretti, and now Signoretti comes out with it. Trying to transition it the other way. They're just able to stay on side. As now the puck comes up, and back come Darby McCarthy, and now he gets hauled down a little bit, no call. And McCarthy comes around over to Smith, and now back comes the other way, come the Paper Kings. It's Owen Ferguson who dumps it in, and that jumps up high and almost ricochets off of Durocolo, who wanted to play it, but it was a quick whistle. And a very exciting last 2 minutes of hockey there. An unbelievable save from Andrew Galton, who goes east to west to deny Chase Thompson the tying goal.
He had to make about 4 saves in that sequence there, all of which looks to be about 10 Bell saves. You're right, had to completely go across the net and make a pad save. So to finish that sequence, just unbelievable goaltending we're seeing so far.
We've talked about him not being confident enough to play the puck, but he's sure as heck confident enough to save the puck.
Right.
As he has been he has been the star of the game so far, I think.
I'd say.
Him and Durocolo have been great, but I think he's made the better save, well, the more exciting saves, I should say.
14 shots so far, and he saved them all.
As there was Reese Metham, who gets his stick knocked out of his hands.
And pleading for a slashing call to the ref, but to no avail.
He looked a little weak, at least from this end, though.
Looked like a stick lift.
Yeah. So depending on who you ask, maybe the right call, maybe the wrong call, as Cameron Lemke sends it in.
Depends who you're a fan of, I suppose.
Caleb Dawson was right there looking for it.
Yep.
And the Paper Kings come the other way in transition. Here's Rampersand. Rampersand with some speed. He almost cuts through about 4 Voodoo players, but a good way to stop the line there. Now here's a chance in front. What a save from Durocolo, as all alone in front was number 28, Caden Cowell, and Durocolo stops the first one with his pad and the second one with his glove and calls it a day.
And it came out so slowly. I don't know how it got through Caden Dubroy in front, but it was basically a gimme for the Espanola Paper Kings on the doorstep, and somehow Durocolo made a couple of huge saves. That's gorgeous. Well done.
And not that Cowell had a lot of room to try to put it through, as Durocolo made himself look very big, but he still shouldn't have been left alone in in the opposite side of the net. But here's Horgan. Horgan's shot, a good save by Durocolo. He looks confident out there as well.
Another blocker save.
And now that's going to be no call either, as the Voodoos were looking for one there. But maybe they felt like, as you can see, that's Zach Turner talking to referee Hillary Brennan.
Looked like a
Pleading
trip
for a
to
call.
me, but I don't ever think I'm biased in saying that. He straight up tripped him. But
Yeah, unless they felt like they both lost an edge,
maybe,
potentially. But
yeah.
Either way, 3:01 left to go. And when you look at this game, both teams have had their chances, that's for sure. But so far, it's 1-0 thanks to Owen Ferguson. His goal back at the 7:57 mark of this period. It looks like it's going to ramp up to be a good one, as it usually is, unless it's a complete blowout like we've seen from both ends. And now Zachary Wilson gets probably away with one there off Horgan as he trips him up, but no call. As here's Tucker Shields now behind his own net. Shields sends it out. Patrick has it. And now lifting it out of the zone there was McClelland. And it's just sent back to the Voodoo zone by the Paper Kings. And now that one bounces off Turner's body and goes all the way down into the Paper Kings zone. Espanola with possession in their own end. There's a big pass, Ferguson. It just goes off his stick into the Voodoo's zone, and they try to play a little chip and chase play off the boards, but it's going to be picked up, the loose puck by Durocolo for a whistle, and some extracurricular activities there between Cowell and I think that's McClellan. No. That might be Caleb Dawson there.
We've seen a lot of fast breaks this game. We've seen a lot of odd man rushes. We've seen a lot of chances and shots. There's 15 shots apiece at this point, so we've seen a lot of skill play. What we haven't seen is a lot of physical play, but the last couple minutes, the physical play has really picked up.
Yeah, I really haven't seen any huge hits behind after the whistle action, but
yeah,
I'm sure that'll pick up, especially as this game goes. And these teams, it can get ugly fast. So, again, I'm telling you, it was a straight-up WWE brawl, that one game.
No love lost between these two teams.
It was absolutely wild. As here's Smetham with a chance. He gets by short. Smetham, he's got a man with him, but his shot goes right into the body of Galton. Probably his easiest save of the evening, it feels like, with a $1:47 still left on the clock in the first period.
Well, again, the Voodoos have done a good job of creating pressure a little bit, but there's nothing really sustained at this point. They're getting their shots, but they're not getting great chances. They're shooting from afar. They're shooting from the slot, but with no one in front. So they've got to get some bodies to the net and really just try and get in Galton's line of vision or try and tip some pucks, because he's seeing everything.
They did try to go east-west one time, and Galton stopped him. There's Dan Noonan. His shot goes high and wide over the blocker's side shoulder of DeRoccolo. And now a bad clearing attempt from the Voodoos as it goes behind his own zone. And the Paper Kings almost had a good opportunity. It's picked up by Short at the Voodoo zone. He sends it all the way back down. Now the puck gets cleared as it's Thompson fighting with Short a little bit. And a good play from McMillan. A very strong play off of Rampersand. McMillan has it. He's looking for a man in front. Here's a shot. And it goes a little wide as it's blocked. A great chance for Rafe Smith. Again, the Voodoos are knocking on the doorstep to tie this game. But they're running out of time with 65 seconds left in this period. And now a chance at the side of the net. Here's Thompson, his shot, trying to go above the blocker's side, and he's not able to push it in. And again, the pushing and shoving happening as Rampersand getting into it with, it looks like Rafe Smith.
Exchanging some words there, Rafe Smith and, Rampersand.
And now they still go, and that's Lyons giving him a bit of a push.
Linesmen's kind of trying to keep them apart there.
Again, there is history in this building. We'll see how it goes, but we talked about some ugly games. The Paper Kings have a 9-2 victory against the Voodoos. The Voodoos have put up 8 against the Paper Kings as well, so both teams have a blowout victory against each other. The other two quite a bit closer.
Kind of like this game.
Yeah, and it feels like this is going to be one of those games too, but I do expect quite a few more goals as we're down to the last 45 seconds of the period. Signoretti. That lines look dangerous. Now here's an opportunity for the Paper Kings. Horgan comes in. His shot's up by DeRoccolo. The rebound was right there as he was caught out of position, making that first save. But a good play by the defense to keep it from being an opportunity. There's a chance off the post as a great opportunity there for Kaninsari. Puck behind the net. Signoretti with it. Signoretti looking in front for somebody. Signoretti still, he's looking in front for Ferguson, but he was tied up. A great play there between Shields and Patrick, and now Shields tries to get it out. 10 seconds to go, and we're going to go to the break with the only goal being Owen Ferguson back at the 7:57 mark as there goes the horn, and it's 1-0 Paper Kings, 17-15 the shots. It was one heck of a 20-minute period of play, so we will be back on for the second period briefly. You're listening to the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast on the Frontline.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Well, we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex. You're listening/watching Average Joe's Game Day broadcast here on the Frontline, either on listening on YouTube or watching on Flow Hockey, whatever floats your boat, one might say. I'm Ben Sargent, alongside with me, Brad Brooks. It's 1-0 Espanola as we get set for the second period of action. We were requested to give a big shout-out as well to Espanola player Kyle Van Uden, who's playing his 100th career NOJHL game. So congratulations, Kyle, on that. 24 games so far this season, 15 points. Pretty respectable, at a couple of great opportunities. So, yes, congratulations on that, and hopefully you get quite a few more and maybe even some more at a higher league as well.
Congrats from me as well, Kyle Denoud, and 100 career games in the NOJHL. That's pretty respectable.
Well, let's take a quick look at what happened in the first period. It was, of course, the lone goal from Owen Ferguson, the former Voodoos player, at the 7:57 mark. It was his 19th of the season, his 52nd point of the year in 29 games. Absolutely incredible. Lucas Signoretti's 37th assist, which is absolutely crazy on there. And Aiden Rufa also on the assist on that play as well. And now I've got to look at it because on our paper it says he has 26 assists. Here it says 36 assists. Okay, so our page is wrong.
We got a typo here, yeah.
So still 62 points, but he has 26 goals, 36 assists. I thought my math was wrong because I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
That math isn't mathing.
But you can thank Powassan GM Chris Dawson, who gives us these sheets, as he also accidentally said Caleb Dawson only played 4 games this year.
Well, he's a great GM, but math obviously not his strong point.
And writing. So thanks, Chris. But we do appreciate all the heads up, as he gives us a lot of information that we can makes us sound smart on air as the teams get ready to get back on the ice. 17-16 the shots in favor of the Voodoos. Brad, what do we need to see here in this second period from both teams?
Well, I mean, less giveaways in the defensive zone. We saw a couple of pretty bad giveaways there. I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but yeah, a little bit stronger, a little bit more. Let's just say confident play in the defensive zone, clearing the puck out, and just not giving up those high value chances in the slot.
Well, we did see Zachary Wilson, who's of course an associated player. He's been with the battalion all year, has not dressed for them. He then got sent down to the Trappers, but he's here kind of as an intermittent stint of. And watching here today is Adam Dennis, the battalion GM, along with some of the battalion players as well, getting a chance to check him out. As he's looked decent, he did have that one really bad giveaway that fortunately didn't turn into a goal.
All right, well, you call him out.
But he's got some. But he does have a big chip on his shoulder here as he's finally getting a chance to play again as the puck's redropped back for the second period. And the Voodoos come out with a bit of a bang here as here's McMillan, steals it. McMillan, his pass out in front was tipped wide. And now McMillan has it again. He's got Sturge in front. His pass over to Sturge is going to end up bouncing all the way to Andrew Galton, as Galton had a really good first period, including an absolutely incredible save on Chase Thompson. as he went east to west with that pad.
Right, you are. 17 saves in that first period from Andrew Galton. But like we mentioned, he seems to not be incredibly confident actually playing the puck. Again, that was one that he probably could have played to a defender, but decided to go for the whistle instead.
Yeah, we talked about that. He's been very confident saving the puck, but not so confident playing the puck, as he's been wanting to hold on to everything, which has given the Voodoos an opportunity to create some zone time that they're not getting in transition. Now here's a chance out in front. Tucker Shields, he had a couple of whacks at it, but Galton again very tight to his post.
Well, that's definitely one Galton wants to cover. And I mean, if you're the Voodoos, this is how you want to start a period. They've hemmed Espanola in their own zone for the first 30 seconds of this period here, getting a couple of offensive zone draws.
They are for sure looking to tie things back up quickly. As just 34 seconds gone in this period, and already the Voodoos have 2 shots on net, and all the pressure so far. Here's a chance. Turner in front for Shields, but he's not able to get a good opportunity in the slot area. Back come the Paper Kings now, their first chance. Guthrie just dumps it in. As going in there is Saucier. He was looking for the rebound, but it's picked up by Patrick. Behind the net, in front. No one there for Guthrie. Now here's an opportunity for Saucier, but it's stopped by DeRockalo with, again, great positioning by the Voodoos netminder, something that he has done very well in his NOJHL career.
Well, and Guthrie can't be left alone in the slot like that. Where was his defensive assignment?
We've seen that a couple of times this game. Big hit there from Zach Turner as he sends Saucier almost into the penalty box. Does not look like the spine bends that way. As looked a little awkward, he goes off to the bench. Now here's an opportunity. Turner now, after giving a big hit, here's a chance, but he is knocked off the puck. A great defensive back checking there from Ringerton. As now it's a bad play. Signoretti already a point. He's looking for more. He's got Guthrie in front. He's now behind the net. He's looking to now get the puck on his backhand. He sends it all the way to the point. Here's a shot by Rampersand, and it's sent short. Now short a shot. Stopped by DeRockalo, and now, as a Paper Kings player down on the ice holding his face.
Looks like Graydon Guthrie, maybe?
And he is not doing good, as out comes the trainer. He is in pain.
Is he holding his face, or did he take a puck to the midsection where there's very little protection?
It's hard to tell. Maybe he got a hand?
He might have taken maybe a stick or a puck to the stomach area. And, he is having a hard time even getting up.
He is, as you said, he's having a tough job. So our thoughts with him as he's trying to make his way up. Not much I think you can do as a trainer there. As it could just be, again, the wind knocked out of him. As he said, there's no protection in that midsection. Signoretti now over trying to help out his teammate. As a very quick whistle. Good job from the referees to see that and whistle it down.
He's moving. I don't see blood, so hopefully it's and he's laying back down again. Okay, so he's definitely in quite a bit of pain here, and trainer I think is just trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah, it can be. It's not an envious. I think anybody who's played sports at some point has had something like that happen to them. It's not a pleasant thing. Guthrie now he's getting helped off by a couple of Paper Kings players, and he's going right to the dressing room. So hopefully we'll see 25 White back on the ice at some point in this period. As the trainer goes right after with him.
You hate to see that, but he's going in for repairs right away. Yeah.
And hopefully it's nothing too serious, and he'll be back on the ice soon. So they'll take the face-off of the outside of the Voodoos zone, as it'll be Lemke versus Signoretti. Always feels like Signoretti's on the ice every time the play is happening, it feels like.
He's
got a lot of time on it. A lot of time on ice. We obviously don't have that statistic, but...
Well, and it's nice because Espanola doesn't have to call a timeout. Anytime there's an extended whistle, Signoretti gets a break, and then you can just put him right back out there.
Absolutely. Rampersand's going to go all the way back to his own zone. It's going to be an icing call here at the... we're 2 minutes into the second period. Again, the Paper Kings still with a 1-0 lead.
Again, a similar start to the first period with several whistles, kind of a slower pace to the start of the period anyway here, so look for things to sort of ramp up like they did in the first.
Signoretti also is the Noge's top goal scorer, and in that last time these two met where the Paper Kings came away with a 6-3 victory, he had 1 goal, 4 assists. Again, Ferguson with a hat trick. He's got the lone goal in this game so far. That line is really where the Voodoos shine. Short chance opportunity, but a good defensive play by the Voodoos. Now it's sent all the way back down, and now there's going to be a foot race between Rampersand and McCarthy. McCarthy looking at who he's got in the slot. He had Smetham, but a good play there by Rampersand doesn't allow him to get a good stick on it. Paper Kings come up the neutral zone. Signoretti coming up with a burst of speed. Good defensive play there by Mason Rotundo. Horgan trying to get it up. His pass doesn't get all of it on it, and McCarthy almost had a chance, but now he's going to go off for a change. As both teams having a little bit of issue controlling the puck. Now an opportunity. Booth, his shot stopped by DeRoccolo as he kicks it away. The rebound comes out to McMillan. McMillan goes all the way around the ice, and he's trying with some speed. He's got Sturge with him. And now McMillan's going to take it all the way himself. McMillan from going coast to coast, and the shot goes off the shoulder of Galton and goes out of play for a whistle.
What a rush there. I didn't expect to see that kind of speed out of McMillan, but what a rush in the backhand. Just, I don't know if the goalie got a piece of it, if Galton got a piece of it, or if it just went high, but
I believe it deflected off.
It deflected off, and just up over the.
Tried to go backhand over the blocker's side. He had Rafe Smith and Jaden Sturge with him, but opted to do it all himself, and we know he can. He's the leading he's the leading point getter for the Voodoos with 34 points in 28 games, 15 goals. And now the Voodoos trying to get something going again. Opportunity from Dubroy. Goes all the way back for Sturge. He's got Dawson with him at the blue line. His shot goes wide. Dawson's going to try to keep it in. He's not able to, or he is able to, sorry, but now it gets sent back out the other way. Lines. He gets around Rotundo. Now DeRoccolo is going to go all the way out to play it, but his pass goes right out to Den Uden. Den Uden almost had a glorious opportunity, but his shot didn't have a lot on it. And now Rufo will send it down. Sturge is going to pick it up in his own zone, and they're going to try to regroup, but a good high press there from Cowell makes him have to keep it off to his partner Rotundo. Now there's a high stick that brings it down by Dubroy, but it's picked up by the Paper Kings. Here's Cowell now. Cowell with an opportunity. His shot. Good play from Rotundo to block it, and now DeRoccolo quickly has to get to his post. If they're not able to get it out, here's Rufa. Now there was a deflection that almost went into a perfect scoring opportunity for the Paper Kings, but it ends up going all the way to the far boards. Sturge trying to get it out for the Voodoos. Again, they're trapped in their own zone, and now they're trying to get their offense going, but Dawson just sends it in. They go off for a change. Fresh legs on the ice now for the Voodoos, and a big play there from Smith. Smith looking in front for McMillan, but he wasn't able to get the pass off as Case sends it back into the zone. And the pass out in front was through the legs of a Voodoos player, and Espanola brings it back the other way. A good hand pass looking for Gringerton, but Gringerton couldn't handle it. As Nicholas Saucier also out there. Back come the Voodoos. Thompson, he leaves it for Smith. Smith's shot goes off his stick and goes out of play over the low glass here at the Sportsplex as we've played 5 minutes and 10 seconds in the second period. And even though it's 1-0 Paper Kings, it feels like it could almost be like a 3-3 game at this point.
It could, although we're seeing fewer chances here in the second than we saw in the first. It seems like they're just sort of feeling each other out again. The Voodoos aren't getting too many chances in tight. They're taking their shots from afar. But credit to the Voodoos on defense. They're also holding, kind of keeping the speed of Espanola in check. So
there was a shot from the blue line off the stick of Carson Ricci that goes right into the body of Andrew Galton. The one thing, though, that the Voodoos have done is they've been more aggressive and they've had more zone time, and not just from offensive draws. They're gaining the zone and they're holding the zone a lot better. They just need to get that puck in those high offense areas, the high slot, the hash marks. As Ryan Patrick has it at the far boards. His pass in front for Case as he came pinching down, but it misses its mark, and Ricci has to come back and get it. He has Saucier right on him, and Ricci still has it behind his own net. He's being harassed there by both Sari, and now that's a huge hit on the young Powassan defenseman. Puck comes to the back, and Rampersand keeps it in. Shields, though, has it for the Voodoos as he sends it back for Case, but Case can't handle it. Saucyer's going to pick it up on the near side. Voodoos can't get the puck out of their own zone. Case is really giving it to Saucier. He's got to be careful or else he might go to the box. We still haven't seen a penalty in this period either. So that might have jinxed it as Patrick sends it into the Espanola zone. Espanola trying something as the Voodoos change. That pass that was blocked off of the stick of Lemke, and now Lemke's got a man with him in Smetham, but his shot goes wide off the glove side.
And all the way back down into Powassan's zone.
And again, it's zone to zone, but neither team has been able to get that that long pass, that breakaway pass to connect.
Voodoos are really struggling, I'm noticing, in the second so far with connecting those passes. They're passing it into each other's skates and whatnot so far. So.
Absolutely. It's helped. It has not helped them at all. Lemke sends it in. Smetham goes after it. It's Rampersand who picks it up behind the net. Signoretti tries to get it out. McCarthy right there. He gets it out to Smetham. He's got a man in front in Lemke, but he couldn't get the pass off. And a good job there from Rampersand to keep the Voodoos at bay. Look at the near side. Back come the Espanola. Here's Signoretti's got a man with him. His shot stopped by Duracolo. The rebound, but not a great opportunity as there was Ciccelli, getting right there, but the puck was in the air. He couldn't get a good shot off. Signoretti has it at the near side. He's dancing around everybody in this game. Can really tell why he's the leading goal scorer in the NOJHL, and now he's taken down there by Smetham, but not enough to get a penalty call.
How does he still have the puck?
Yeah, I don't know, but he gets it back again. Here's Ferguson. He sends it over to Signoretti, but it's dumped off. And he's a very short guy, but he is nimble. He looks almost like a Martin St. Louis kind of style, as Dan Oden couldn't hold the pass from Signoretti.
They're going to have to start knocking him down because they can't take the puck from him.
I don't know if they can knock him down, though. He just goes around them. He's such a fun guy to watch.
Yeah.
Paper King's very lucky to have a player of that caliber. Again, over 2 points a game, and that just tells you all you need to know.
63 points now in his 29th game of the year.
Absolutely. Yeah. An assist in this game on the Ferguson goal, and the lone goal of the game. Mm-hmm. And now there's a chance that Smith overskates the puck. Zachary Wilson has it in his own zone. Of course, a lot of eyes on him today, as we mentioned at the beginning of the period. Adam Dennis, battalion GM here, along with a bunch of battalion players watching the battalion prospect, the third rounder who did not suit up for the battalion in the regular season, got a couple of preseason games. He's going to be with the Voodoos until the break, which is the next couple games, 2 games after this, and then he's going to be sent down to the Trappers just for some conditioning.
Good chance for him to get his feet wet.
Yeah, it's because he hasn't had a chance to play in what has been a very, as the puck is picked up by Golden on a weak shot. And again, it's as now things are starting to get heated. We were wondering when we were going to see this. They're not going to let me finish my thought here. As
no.
There's a big scrum of
players. 3
players.
officials trying to break apart 2 guys here.
Yeah, it looks like that's Rafe Smith. Hard to tell. Horgan's in there. Waiting to see who the Espanola player is. Looks like it might be Caden Cowell. Yeah, that's Caden Cowell. So going to have to watch out. 28 white and 25 green. But as I was going to finish saying quickly was just Zach Wilson just looking for some conditioning. He hasn't had a chance with the battalion. One of the things that they've had some issues with is defense, as they've let in a lot of goals lately. It's been a hot-button topic we've talked about.
Ad nauseum. Yeah, it's definitely an issue for the battalion right now, and they could use some help up there. So
11:15 to go in the second period, almost halfway through this game. Ryan Patrick takes the face-off against who else but Signoretti. I don't think that guy goes on the bench. As
he doesn't come off the ice.
This has got to be his third shift in a row. As here's Booth looking for Signoretti in front.
But he doesn't slow down.
He doesn't. What conditioning. Here's Rufa. Shot goes high and wide. Look in the glove side as Horgan keeps it in. Man, I don't know what conditioning he's on, but to be young again.
Oh, seriously. Yeah.
If I was that age, go all day long. As here's Booth looking in front for Signoretti. Wait till he hits about 25, 26.
Yeah, age hits you like a ton of
bricks. The metabolism doesn't work, and there's a bad giveaway. Here's a chance, and Horgan's shot's blocked. Bad giveaway again from the Voodoos, as they're trying to get it out of the zone. Zach Turner, but he can't get it out again. They fail to clear, and Booth now a delayed call coming up to the Voodoos. That'll be the first penalty of the game. Pethick has it at his own blue line, and that goes off the roof of the very low roof of the Sportsplex. And now, as Golden just went to the bench, we're going to see what the call is, who's going to get off. It looks like it's not Carson Ricci. Maybe it's Ryan Patrick? Nope.
Might be Case.
Case? Nope. Turner, it's Turner, finally.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Zach Turner goes off. We'll have to wait to hear the announcement. I did not see the signal.
Kind of amazing that through a period and a half here, this is the first penalty of the game.
Looks like it's going to be a roughing call. We've seen Turner have that. Again, him and McCarthy both coming up from the States. They played in Montana last year together, and he's not afraid to throw the body. And we see that getting a roughing call there.
been a little chippy, so I'm surprised that's the first penalty of the game.
So Espanola getting their first opportunity of the game on the power play. As they are on the road, they're 21% on the road, so they haven't had too many opportunities. They're 15 for 69. They're 28% at home. So they're a little bit better than the Voodoos, who are 17% on the road. But here's an opportunity for Espanola, and you know that they're going to try to get it to those high-scoring guys, the Fergusons, the Signorettis, though neither of them are on the ice as Signoretti's finally getting a break.
I'm shocked, actually, that Signoretti's not out there to start the power play.
Here's short shot right into the glove. Great job by the defense of the Voodoos to give Duraklo a clear look at that puck.
Yeah, you clear those bodies out of there and let Duraklo just face the shooter. That's a great job by the Voodoos defense and on the penalty kill there.
So both teams, again, coming into this game, coming off losses. The Voodoos coming off a 6-3 loss to the Paper Kings. The Paper Kings played the next night, though, against the Greater Sudbury Cubs. They lost 6-3. The Greater Sudbury Cubs are going to be here Friday, so they lead right now the entire NOJHL.
Yeah, that's a pretty good team.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Voodoos are going to have their hands full on Friday night, that's for sure.
Sudbury's always a great team, as they always seem to be leading the West. Face-off one here by the Paper Kings. Van Uden's shot again right into the glove of Duraklo.
I think they really need to institute a salary cap in the Noj here and really just sort of get some parity amongst all
Well,
these.
I think they all get paid the same.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a lot. Ferguson takes the face-off, and he wins it up against Patrick. Here's Horgan at the blue line. They're trying to move the puck around. Here's an opportunity. Now Signoretti, his shot again. The third glove save that Duraklo has made, but
in the last minute.
But very easy, as he's had great looks, and the Voodoos are really giving him a good look. So it's going to have to be some east-west passing here from the Paper Kings. They're going to have to get some bodies in front of Duraklo, try to get some tips.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, they're not really making Duraklo move too much. He's able to get square to the shooter, and that glove hand is as good as it's ever been.
Ryan Patrick moves off for Cameron Lemke, but Lemke still loses the faceoff, but the Voodoo's able to get it out. As Ricci tries to clear it down the ice, but he can't. Now Cowell on a race for it with Case. Cowell wins it. They're going to set up again. Here's the Paper Kings. Horgan, the shot. One-timer. Good positioning there from Duraklo as he makes what looks like an easy save on Lucas Signoretti with 39 seconds left on the Turner roughing call.
We've talked a lot about Signoretti this game, but how about Spencer Horgan, who's also 2-point-per-game player, and he's a defenseman. He's absolutely unreal, and that was a great pass, great crisp cross-ice pass to Signoretti for that one-time chance.
The Paper Kings have, so to put this into perspective, the highest scoring player for the Voodoos is Matthew McMillan with 34 points.
Yep.
The three top players on the Paper Kings, Signoretti 62 points, Ferguson 51 points, Horgan 51 points as well. And that's coming into today. So obviously that's a little different. Signoretti now at 63 points, Ferguson now at 52, but still.
Those three are in the top 5 of league scoring.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now it does drop off considerably.
Yep.
The Voodoos have done a good job, and here's an opportunity off the faceoff for Thompson, but he's going to be called, and now a penalty coming up to the Voodoos again. It's going to be a trip. And the fans not happy about it here in the Sportsplex as Thompson goes off. What looked like to be a breakaway opportunity turns into a 5-on-3 for the Paper Kings. And they'll be on that for 27 seconds. And the penalty troubles continue here for the Voodoos.
Yeah, they're going to be 2 men down for about 27 seconds here. And Duraklo, if he hasn't been tested yet, he's going to be tested here in a second.
We'll see how the Voodoos do here with a triangle formation as Ferguson wins another faceoff, but Espanola done a great job in the offensive zone. Signoretti, he's anchoring the point here. Signoretti now at the high slot. He gets his pass down to Van Uden. Here's a shot from Ferguson, stopped by Duraklo. They're just trying to get it out as the puck's being swatted away. And then now Horgan picks it up. Horgan sends it back to the point man, Signoretti. Signoretti just comes in. His shot goes off the post. He tried to beat Duraklo blocker side, and he did, but he couldn't beat the woodwork. As Van Uden, he gets it down, looking for Cowell. Cowell's shot goes all the way through the blue paint and out the other way. Turner comes out of the penalty box. Very quick 30 seconds, though probably felt like 2 minutes to the guys on the ice. And now we're back to 5-on-4. Here's Signoretti. He skates around, and Ferguson's shot goes off his stick and up and off the netting here behind the Voodoos bench.
What a release. There are a few wrist shots like that I've seen in this league. That Lucas Signoretti wrist shot.
And they're sorry, go ahead.
He beat Duraklo clean, but yeah, clipped the post. Wow, what a shot.
They're giving him a lot of room, though, from the point to allow to go right in that high slot. They need to collapse on him a little bit faster.
I agree.
But that's where his speed comes in, and we've seen it as face-off won there by Ryan Patrick over Jack Lines. Now Patrick looking to be sprung here. Again, no icing since There's still a minute left on that penalty to Chase Thompson for tripping. So the Voodoos kill off the first penalty to Turner. So Espanola 0 for 1 officially as Lyons brings it up. Lyons sends it down. That kind of takes a weird bounce off the boards, but comes all the way around the other side for Grant Booth. Now back to the point. They're short. He's got Rufa as well at the point there. Here's Rufa. His shot is stopped by DeRocco as he's able to find it through a crowd. And now again the Paper Kings coming through. It's another opportunity there off the stick of Adley Gringerton.
Voodoos doing an unbelievable job of collapsing around DeRocco, and DeRocco's lost his stick.
But he also looks like he might be, he was kneeling down. So it's hard to tell if he's doing okay there, and hopefully he is, but he's taken off his helmet.
He seems to be okay, but something stung him for sure.
And he's talking to the referees, and now the trainer's coming out. So that's why I thought they stopped play originally, as he was kneeling there. And now the Voodoos trainer is going to come out to take a look at DeRocco, who is 23 saves on 24 shots. He has been absolutely fantastic. Both goaltenders have.
They both have been. This has been a display. But like we said earlier, the two best players on the ice have been the goaltenders. But yeah, DeRocco, he was stretching his neck there. I don't know if something caught him in the back on the way through, because he had lost his stick, and his stick was in the left face-off circle. So
7:19 to go here in the second period. Still 1-0 Espanola, thanks to a Owen Ferguson goal back in the first period around the midway mark. We should also be coming up to our mid-break as well, but we haven't gotten there because of the penalties, so that should be coming up in the next minute or so. There's 31 seconds left on Chase Thompson's penalty. And Brad, right now when you look at the second period, what have the Voodoos done well compared to the first period? What do you think they could do a little bit better?
Well, they've obviously defended better. I think they've limited the chances. We saw a lot more dangerous chances, I think, from Espanola in the first period. And their penalty kill looks unbelievable so far. This 2-minute advantage that they're killing is textbook.
Yeah, that's been strong. They've had to kill penalties for about 3.5 minutes by the time this one comes up. The Paper Kings are going to have one last chance, and who else but Signoretti comes in with a burst of speed. He's got Horgan at the point as well, but Signoretti decides to shoot, but it goes off a stick. Now the puck is loose, and it's cleared by the Voodoos, and that should do it for the penalty with 7 seconds to go. And now there's fighting happening here, and now Case is taken down in a bear hold, and now a couple of guys going at it. It's hard to see who's in there. I believe that's Owen Ferguson.
Is in there, yep.
Is that Zach Turner? It's hard to tell. I know Case is being held down by... He's being held down there by Cowell, he's been going at it too, but...
Well, that was a straight-up tackle by Cowell on Case. He clotheslined him and brought him down. He'll definitely get a penalty for that one.
Absolutely. That was Mason Rotundo, who was down on the ice there, unless that's a 27. We're just waiting to see if... No, that's a 17. So Mason Rotundo. So 2 Paper Kings. I told you it was going to get chippy, Brad.
It has begun.
And there we go all the way. So Rotundo's gonna leave. He's gonna go to the Voodoos dressing room. The same thing as the fans are starting to get into it. Starting to get into it as well. As both players are sent off to their respective dressing rooms, even though there's 6:54 to go. So I'm assuming there's going to be some 10-minute misconducts at least sent off. But as you said, when you looked at that Cowell play, he just kind of took his man and took him down. That was Alex Case.
Taking a page out of the WWE right there. It was a clothesline tackle, and it definitely looked like Case could have been hurt on that play. I hope he's all right. But the trade-off here is that Owen Ferguson, one of Espanola's best scorers, is going to have to sit for a bit too, because he was involved in front of there as well. So don't mind seeing him have a seat for a couple as well.
Yeah, and if you're a coach, you hate seeing that, because you don't want to see one of your best goal scorers and point makers sitting out for more like 10 minutes. So you're losing him for about at least the rest of this period and a quarter of the next period.
Right.
And who knows what happened there? Something along the line. Maybe it was something that happened with DeRocco there. But it happened behind the play. But we're back to it. So we are still 5-on-4 for another 6 seconds. So it looks like no extra penalties given. Just whatever they deem, whether it's fighting and misconducts or what. But we'll have to wait to hear the call on that. As here's McMillan with it. McMillan, here's an opportunity behind. He's trying to get out in front. Chance, but he can't quite get a shot away. So we'll try to break that down as things go around. Of course, a lot of penalties going through as Mike Brito, the PA announcer here at the Sportsplex, is giving it to us now. An opportunity for the Voodoos. A chance. A shot goes. Nice save by Galton. Has a good chance there from Chase Thompson, who's denied again for the second time point blank by Andrew Galton. McMillan trying to keep it in. McMillan can't keep it in, but he does get the puck back. And now McMillan here. Here's a shot trying to go blocker side. Good save by Galton again.
Great save.
He's been really solid. 23 saves now on the evening as he's hosting a shutout here as McClellan tries to get it up for Smith, but they can't quite get there. And Horgan gives it up to line.
Try and jinx it.
Oh, well, who knows? If he does get a shutout in this game, though, he definitely deserves it, as it feels like it should be a high-scoring game, but the goalies have kept it away. As here's Smith, but he loses it. A good defensive play off the stick of Aiden Pethick. Pethick trying to break the Paper Kings out. His pass goes off Saucier's skate, and the Voodoos come back the other way. Here's Shields with it. Shields able to keep everybody on side. Shields comes around. He's looking for a man in front. He's got Turner in front. Turner shoots. He scores! Zach Turner makes it a 1-1 game. And we are all knotted back up here with 5:18 to go in the second period. Tucker Shields, a great feed outside. And the American native makes it 1-1.
What a goal. They finally solve Andrew Galton, who's been rock solid tonight so far. Like you had said, 23 saves on 23 shots up until that. Great feed out front, and Tucker had no problem burying that. That was a great shot on a beautiful feed from up behind the net.
Well, Turner's usually the one dishing off assists. He's got now his sixth goal of the, beg my pardon, he has his fifth goal of the season, his 20th point. A lot of assists. When we had him on the podcast earlier this year, he was talking a lot how he loved to play with former fellow American, not former American, fellow American Darby McCarthy, and he loves, McCarthy's the one who scores, he's the one who assists, but this time it's Zach Turner who gets it. And now here's a chance, he shoots, he scores! What a goal from Caden Dubroy, and it's just like that, it's 2-1 Voodoos, back-to-back, within 10 seconds of each other. And that's how you come back.
I think they've rattled Galton now because, 2 goals in 10 seconds. What a snipe there by Dubroy. Right over the left shoulder, over the glove hand of a bewildered Galton at this point.
Well, you can't really fault Galton on that. That was an absolute snipe from the far face-off dot as he goes top shelf over the blocker side. He's pinpoint shot from Caden Dubroy.
Not much he could do. Great shot.
He gets his 7th goal of the season, his 14th point, as the puck comes right off the face-off down to DeRocklu, who will cover it. So in the span of about 10 seconds, the Voodoos went down 1-0 and now lead 2-1. As Brad, you got to update these scores here on the YouTube so people can see it.
I thought we were going to have our mid-period break here, but I guess we're just skipping right over it.
We still haven't had that either, and now trying to break free is Smith. Smith still there, but he gets hauled down by Horgan. The fans want a penalty, but they're not going to give it to him. And after the Voodoos had a couple of penalties called against them in this period, you know that I'm sure there's going to be some talks about the refs after this one, as Lyons has it in the Voodoo zone. Paper Kings with 4:20 to go in the second period are going to look to tie things up going to the third. The Voodoos are going to do everything they can to stop it. Here's McMillan. He gets it over to Smith. Here's Smith. His shot goes wide. Great opportunity there from Rafe Smith. But here's Dan Uden, again playing his 100th NOJHL game. His shot goes off of DeRocklu into the corner. And now the puck comes loose. Smith tries to go ahead, and they got to be careful about too many men on the ice, as there was almost a mix-up there, but the new player didn't come out for the Paper Kings, so everything's all right. As the Voodoos try to get back, it's the Paper Kings with the puck in their own zone. 3.5 minutes now to go. 27-24 the shots. Voodoos find themselves up 2-1 as it goes down for an icing against the Paper Kings. And what a second period that we've seen, Brad.
Well, I mean, the Voodoos seem to be doing everything right. minus taking penalties. They've taken a couple penalties, but they did a great job of killing them. Like we said, they were down 2 men for about a half a minute there. And after the kill, maybe that gave them some momentum because they came down the ice and scored 2 goals very quickly.
Now Patrick steals it and he scores! Ryan Patrick!
They get 3!
Off the face-off, steals the puck, takes it from the high slot, and he squeezes it between the blocker and the body of Andrew Galton, and you can tell he's shaken now as he's given up 3 goals in the span of about a minute and a half.
He's definitely rattled now, and yet again we see a situation where Galton covers up, makes it so his team has to deal with another defensive zone draw. And the Voodoos are doing a good job with those offensive zone draws, winning those draws, and a great play by Patrick to snipe that one home on the blocker side of
And the Paper Kings agree as they're going to give Galton a break as he's going to go off to the dressing room. And in comes Jake Marois, who comes in with a 9-6 record, 389 goals against average, 896 save percentage. But back the other way come the Paper Kings, and we're not done yet. Shot stopped by Duracolo. But Ryan Patrick now picking up his 9th goal of the season. And in the span, again, of about a minute and a half, the Voodoos were down 1-0. They lead 3-1. Now here's McCarthy's shot is blocked off of the skate of lines. Here's Turner. Turner, he's looking for somebody, but he fights off, that's Lemke, fights off a couple of players, and now the puck comes around for Smetham. Right now, the Voodoos are playing with 4 forwards as Lemke now goes off to get Ricci on the ice.
This is more of what we expected to see in this period. This high-flying, lots of goals.
Absolutely. Zachary Wilson trying to send Dubroy on the breakaway, but it was just out of his reach. And now we're getting very back and forth. Here's Signoretti. Signoretti trying to get around his man. Good play there from Carson Ricci, not allowing him playing the body, not allowing him through. Here's Dubroy. His shot goes wide. And the Voodoos try to collect it, and Signoretti brings it the other way for the Paper Kings. Signoretti, Ringerton is going to be sending it into the Voodoo zone, but it goes off the end boards and goes all the way out. So they'll have to get sorted again. Trying for that long pass, goes off the stick of Caden Dubroy, who has started this whole goal-scoring endeavor as he picked up his 7th goal of the season earlier in this period.
Well, and I guess the Espanola coach had seen enough after a wonderful start by Andrew Galton. Looked rock solid for the first period and a half here. Unraveled very quickly for him. 3 goals on 3 shots in about a minute and a half there. So he gets pulled, and Jake Morak comes in.
And as soon as we hear, by the way, as soon as this gets updated with the penalties that happened earlier with that kind of scrum between Rotundo and Case and all those guys, we'll Cowell as the Voodoos go offside. And now we finally get our mid-period break. So we're going to quickly go to our end of the period, but mid-period break. You're watching the Average Joe's Game Day Frontline broadcast.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, they got to get that mid-period break in, and they do it with about a minute 30 left. Again, what a wild second period. The Voodoos come down 1-0, and then in the last 5 minutes of this period, in the span of a minute and a half, score 3 goals, chase Andrew Galton from the game. Jake Marois comes in now, and it's a good place to be if you're the Voodoos.
Well, this is the last 5 minutes of this period is kind of what we expected to see all game from these two teams, and things are really starting to open up now, and the Voodoos, I guess, are the beneficiaries of that so far. The Espanola Paper Kings have yet to really answer, but we'll see if the change in goaltender for them helps spark something.
So we finally get the update on those penalties. So the penalty looks like Owen Ferguson goes off for roughing for 2 minutes. He gets with Alexander Case, they get matching penalties, so it didn't change anything there. But Ferguson and Caden Cowell, who also had 2 minutes of roughing, so I don't understand why the Voodoos didn't have a power play there, but we're still waiting to have it, unless Case went off as well, but I don't believe he did. Either way, Cowell and Ferguson both got unsportsmanlike conduct. I believe that's 10 minutes. It says 0 minutes on the game day sheet.
And I don't see a penalty here to Case. So.
But I'm assuming that means that it is a 10-minute misconduct, but we'll have to as soon as we have more information. As Jaden Sturge a chance, but his shot goes wide. But we don't have confirmation. So as soon as we have confirmation, we'll let you know. But we're led to believe it's a 10-minute misconduct, as there's now a minute to go in this second period. 3-1 Voodoos, as a lot of actions happened here, and Matthew McMillan looking to make it 4. He sends it over to McClellan. No chance, opportunity, good save by Marois. Another opportunity in front of Marois is going to hold it up. There's a delayed call coming up, and now Signoretti's going to get into it with Rafe Smith. Or sorry, not Signoretti, beg my pardon. That is Ciccelli. Signoretti 26-16, very close. But it's Ciccelli who gets into it with Rafe Smith. Signoretti was there, but not part of the scrum. There was a delayed call already, so we're going to have to figure this out again. And we went from having no penalties in the first period to a whole whack ton here.
Absolute yard sale out there at this point. But the Voodoos passes are finally connecting, and that was a great little sequence between McMillan and Rafe Smith there, just to.
So it's Aiden Pethick going off for a cross check. Rafe Smith, I believe, going off for the slash.
Okay.
There was definitely a cross check and a slash. I believe that's what the referee signaled.
Coincidental minors, the Voodoos still have yet to have a power play this game.
It will be a 4-on-4 though, so 2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go on this. I believe it's 4-on-4. Now the Voodoos have 5 players on the ice. So unless they gave a penalty, because they had that delayed call originally,
right,
and then the scrum ensued. So unless the Paper Kings did not get a penalty in that scrum, which, to be fair, Ciccelli was part of that. So unless Ciccelli, I don't know if he got off the.
You're right. It's going to be 4-on-4.
So it looks like it will be 4-on-4. 55 seconds to go in the period. So 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. We're all set. Back again. 3-1. Voodoos. Face-offs won by Tucker Shields. Voodoos have a last-second chance to try to make it 4-1. Paper Kings trying to get back within 1, but time is limited here. So here's Rufa. Rufo, the opportunity goes all the way around the net. He tries to get it in front for Saucier, but his pass doesn't get through the crowd. Paper Kings will try to regroup now. 30 seconds on the clock. Rufa brings it up with some speed. He's got Signoretti with him. Now Rufa goes, he scores! Rufa misses, goes off the back boards, picks up his own rebound, and goes top shelf over to Roccolo. And with 22 seconds to go, it is a 1-goal game. Exactly what the Paper Kings wanted going into that break.
I'm not sure that's the way they drew it up. It was kind of a funny bounce out of the corner to bounce straight out in front, and I don't think DeRoccolo expected it, but Aiden Rufa was definitely there and ready to capitalize, and he roofed it over the glove hand of DeRoccolo.
Yeah, it's sometimes how the cookie crumbles, right?
Yeah,
but
bad bounces.
At the end of the day, all that matters is what's on the scoreboard. So the Voodoos, though, they do score 3 very quick goals in this period, and it's going to set up what should be a very exciting third period, especially with how scrappy it got as well. But there's still 8 seconds to go, and one last push from the Voodoos. Here's McMillan. Tries to dance around his man, but McMillan couldn't quite get his handle on it. And now with 1 second left, there's a chance in front. But it's no good, and now the buzzer goes to signal the end of the period. So the Voodoos pick up 3 goals in the span of a minute and a half to take a 3-1 lead, but it is Rufa who picks up the tying goal the second Paper Kings goal with about 30 seconds left to go, and it's 3-2 Voodoos after 40 minutes. We will be back with the third period after this break. You're listening to the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast on YouTube and Flow Hockey.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-147.
Well, we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I believe everything is all right again. Just give us 1 second.
Check the stream because it looked like we lost our internet connection for a few seconds there, but
I think we are good. Cool. All right. So yeah, welcome back. So we just lost internet there for a second, but we're back here on the Frontline broadcast. Whether you're watching on Flow Hockey or on YouTube, thanks for spending your evening with us. It's the Powassan Voodoos and the Espanola Paper Kings, another classic between these two teams as Powassan picks up 3-2. Before we get to your thoughts, Brad, I'm Ben Sargent, by the way, with Brad Brooks. Before we get to you, Brad, just quickly take us through the scoring summary there as the goals for the goals came. Zach Turner started things off at the 14:42 mark off of Tucker Shields. Caden Dubroy with his 7th of the season from Lumpkin to McCarthy just 30 seconds later. And then a minute and a half after that, Ryan Patrick with his 9th. Cameron Lemke, another assist, the second point of the game. And then Aiden Rufo with about 22 seconds left to go makes it a 3-2 game. So, Brad, what have we seen so far in this second period? What needs to happen in this third period to be an exciting finish?
well, that was exciting. The last 5 minutes or so of that second, it was back and forth all parade with no goals, and then all of a sudden they came in bunches. So I think, I don't know, do you sit on the lead? I like the way the Voodoos have defended so far. They've only given up the 2 goals. They've done a really good job of neutralizing the speed of the Espanola Paper Kings, so I look for that to continue. I think, you know, the coach is probably preaching more of the same.
Absolutely. So, by the way, there was a bit of a scrum. Owen Ferguson, Caden Cowell out for the Paper Kings. Alexander Case, Mason Rotundo for the Voodoos got into a bit of a clash there at the 13:06 mark of the second period. They all went off for roughing, and they got 10-minute misconduct. So they will still be off for the next 6 minutes or so of this first period. So they should be back about 5 to 7 minutes into this period, depending on whistles and all that kind of stuff. But they do have a minute and 5. They have a minute and 5 second penalty here, power play for the Espanola Paper Kings after Rafe Smith went off for slashing at the end of the period. So it's going to be an interesting game. 29-29 the shots. It has been probably one of the most exciting games we've seen all year long in terms of we've seen a little bit of everything: goal scoring, great goaltending, and of course big physicality.
Well, and you talked about the last time that Galton had played in here, he gave up 8 to the Voodoos, and for a while there it looked like he was going to give up 0, and then the Voodoos got to him real quick and in bunches. So chased him, Marois is in, and I think we're in for an exciting third here. As
you said again, it was Andrew Galton, after giving up the third goal of the game in about 2.5 minutes, got chased from the game. Jake Marois is now the goaltender of record here. So 16 saves, 19 shots against will be his final. He does get credited for 40 minutes, but that probably won't.
9 shots apiece, though, according to our score.
Yeah, so this isn't necessarily the most accurate stuff, but play's back underway here in the third period for what should be a classic 20 minutes of hockey. 1 goal lead for the Voodoos, but things can change in a flash, as we've seen, and there's a good chance from Carson Ricci right off the start of the period. But it's picked up by Marois, who's going to cover for a whistle.
Yeah, I mean, typical. We saw it in the first couple periods here, whistles within the first 10-15 seconds, and we'll see another offensive zone draw for the Voodoos.
Yeah, we mentioned this earlier. Peter Goulet, head coach, he's not with the Voodoos right now, as him and Josh Hardiman, assistant coach, are away as assistant and video coach respectively for Team Canada East. So again, big congrats to those guys. We mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, but just wanted to give another shout out to Peter Goulet, as it'll be Josh Dale and assistant coach Brent Tomlinson doing the duties behind the bench for the next couple of games. The Voodoos play against Greater Sudbury Friday before going on the road to face Timmins before the Christmas break, as the puck's now going in between both zones as Horgan picks it up into zone 1. Horgan now sends it up to Dan Uden. Dan Uden loses the puck in his skates, and here's Patrick. He's got Thompson with him, but Patrick's just going to put it down into the zone, and the Voodoos are going to go off for a change. Sturge picks it up in the neutral zone right outside the Paper King zone, and he sends it back in, and the Voodoos are able to keep it in as good play there from McClellan, but now it gets bumped out of the zone, and McClellan steals that. His pass up to Smith. He's got Thompson on his near side. Smith able to break through Pethick, but good poke check away from Marois to stop that, but Smith keeps it in. Smith now a shot stopped by Marois off the blocker side. Sturge has it. Sturge tries to get in front for Thompson. He hits it a couple of times. Now Smith right off the side of the net, but he can't put it by Marois. Now a wraparound attempt. Puck's loose. Again, shoots. He scores. Rafe Smith finally puts it home. And the Voodoos regain their 2-goal lead. It's 4-2 Powassan.
Rafe Smith is the guy we've been talking about all game. The puck's just been seeming to find him. And this sequence was no different. He had about 5 shots on net there in that sequence and made a great play to enter the zone, a little inside out on the defender, a shot on net, and then just kept plugging down there, digging the puck out, and finally put a backhander home.
Timeout called here by Espanola as they give up a goal at the minute 32 mark of this third period. Now, again, they're going to try to have to find 2 goals to come back from this play. And Chase Thompson's been snake bitten again. He was robbed by Galton earlier on in this game. He was couldn't find it in front of the net. Finally, Smith puts it in, but you got to feel for a guy like Chase Thompson who can put the puck in the back of the net, but no luck here in this game.
Well, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And on the other side of things, you just see a guy who the puck just seems to find. And it would seem like it was just a matter of time for Rafe Smith there to get one. So
Thompson, 13 goals, 18 assists, 31 points. He's right behind McMillan for lead in goals. And then you look on the other side of the sheet, and you have Signoretti with 62 points and Owen Ferguson with 51. But unfortunately, and another thing for the Paper Kings, this is huge, Ferguson did leave. He's alone. He was the first goal scorer of this game. He did leave in that 10-minute misconduct. So
he's still sitting out, and the Voodoos will take that, absolutely. Capitalize on that.
It's been a big, and they got kind of lucky on the Rufa goal as it took a good bounce. But here's a chance for Dan Uden as it comes down, but it's poked away by DeRoccolo. Now Zachary Wilson's got a couple of guys on him. He's trying to get it out, but he gives it away to Dan Uden. He had no help there, but he's able to make a good play to get the puck out to McCarthy. Here's Darby McCarthy. He's got Lemke and Smetham with him. McCarthy takes a shot right into the glove of Jake Marois, and he hangs on for a whistle.
Yeah, Zach Wilson again seems to be maybe struggling to find his feet, and lack of playing time will do that, I guess. And there's only his second game so far this year, and another giveaway in the defensive zone. But good on him because he stayed with the play, and he made a good play to break up the play and get the puck out of his zone after that. So
absolutely. Again, we said how the Voodoos have they've really spread out the goal scoring, and a couple of guys almost at the 20-point brink, a couple of guys over the 30-point mark. With Espanola, it really is the Signoretti as the puck goes out of play at the Voodoos bench.
Yeah, the Voodoos have that balanced attack where everyone contributes, and the Paper Kings kind of conversely really rely on that top line.
And if you look at this, it's Signoretti, 62 points. Again, Ferguson, Horgan, 51 points. Peters Davey, 31 points. Then it goes Jack Lyons with 23, and then everybody else is below 20, and there's a whole lot of guys in the single digits. When you look at that sheet, it goes to single digits way quicker than the Voodoos do. But, I mean, when you look at a guy like Signoretti play, you can see why.
Yeah, he gets all the ice time for good reason, but yeah, maybe it's just a lack of depth. It seems to be the Voodoos have a little bit more depth in that regard.
Here's Guthrie. He's trying to spring Saucier, who's always kind of a dangerous guy as well. Saucier's shot stopped by DeRoccolo, almost a bad rebound, but a good defensive play there by Ricci. Keeps Saucier from picking up his own rebound, but a bad giveaway here in the neutral zone. Horgan gets fed by Signoretti. Horgan has it in the corner. He looks out in front for Sari, but it goes, and now the puck goes wide, and it jumps out in front of the slot. Sturge has it. Sturge is going to send it up, and he's going to try to spring Ricci out, Dubroy out. They can't, so he goes off. And Zachary Wilson now, he loses it there to Signoretti. Signoretti with, again, a burst of speed. He gets knocked down by Wilson and then loses an edge and goes hard into the boards. But now it's stuck in Ryan Patrick's skates, and Beatty now loses his stick into Saucier's body, so his stick goes flying into the Espanola zone. Back in the Paper King, get big hit there from Zach Turner, who is the first goal scorer for the Voodoos. Kind of started off that 3-goal run back in the late second period. Zachary Wilson His path goes off of Booth's stick, and it's picked up by the Paper Kings in their own zone by Jack Lyons, the captain.
It's 2 giveaways in the last 30 seconds by Zach Wilson. Again, he's got to figure his game out here a little bit.
And again, a lot of eyes on him. He had Adam Dennison earlier, a lot of battalion players here as well watching their teammate play, as he's going to be here for the next couple of games, and then he's going to be down to the Trappers for some conditioning. He had, as we said earlier in the broadcast, 0 time with he was with the battalion, but he was a healthy scratch for all their games so far. As we reach this 4-minute mark of the third period, so 60 minutes left, 4-2 Voodoos. So, Brad, with it being a 4-2 game, what Voodoos right now, you're just thinking, do you try for another goal here, or do you try to sit back and...
Yeah, you don't change a thing. They're obviously doing well at gaining the zone lately, since the last 5 minutes of the second and the start of the third. They're gaining the zone. They're getting good looks at the net. So, yeah, don't change a thing.
Here's Zachary Wilson trying to get it up for Turner. Turner's able to get it now. He banks it off the glass, and it goes down to Rampersand for the Paper Kings, but it's picked up by Turner. Now Turner has it. Turner's shot goes up high on Marois, but he stops it. And Ryan Patrick, right in front of the linesman, goes after Rampersand. He's slow to get up. He's holding his arm. He's going off. And now on the other side of the ice, a good shot is stopped by Duroclo, and I'm wondering if maybe there might be some extracurricular following that hit, which was kind of late, and I'm sure Espanola was looking for a penalty there. So far, Espanola's had a couple of power plays, but they're 0 for 2. On the other side, the Voodoos have not been on the man advantage. And now he's going to chance. McMillan dances through. His shot stopped by Marois. And now the puck comes into the corner, and it's Rufa and McMillan fighting at it. McMillan wins the puck. He has it. He's got a man in front of Thompson. He tries to go in front to Smith, but it goes off of Smith's stick and goes out into the neutral zone. And the Voodoos look to recuperate as Smith's pass to Lemke, but Thompson takes it. Now Thompson in front looking for McMillan. But McMillan couldn't pull the trigger. Now McMillan blows a tire and almost loses it to Signoretti, who would have been off to the races. Now McMillan looking for Thompson, and a good defensive stick there by Rufa keeps it from being a great chance. And now here's Signoretti. Signoretti in the Voodoos zone. He tries to wrap it around. He's got Saucier in front as well, but Signoretti holds it. He still has the puck. Nobody's knocking him off of it. And now here's Horgan. Horgan sends it into the corner. Booth going after it. And now here's Saucier in front for Signoretti. He shoots. He scores! And you knew that was coming as Lucas Signoretti, with his 27th goal of the season, 64th point, makes it 4-3. And with 14:11 to go, folks, we still have a hockey game on our hands.
Well, just a matter of time. You can only keep this guy off the scoreboard for so long. 27 goals in his 29th game of the year, so basically a goal a game. So essentially you can bank on him scoring every game, and that was a beautiful pass out front to him, and he had all the time in the world in the slot to bury that one.
A great play from Nicolas Saucier behind the net as he was able to get Signoretti all alone in front, and again, a matter of time. His second point of the game, he had an assist earlier.
Credit the Voodoos, though. They're getting all kinds of chances offensively still. And I think the last thing you want to do is sit back on your heels and just try and protect a lead. You want to still come at them offensively.
Well, it's 4-3, so it's a one-goal game. And again, these games are hard-fought outside of the, well, 2 of the games have been hard-fought. The other 2 have been blowouts respectfully for both teams. But now come back in the other way. Here's McCarthy. His shot. It's blocked. And it's sent all the way back out. Alex Case now out of the box. So the people who, Case, Rotundo, Ferguson, and Cowell, who are all on 10-minute unsportsmanlike misconducts, are all back on the ice. But here are the Voodoos behind the net. Chance for Thompson, for Lemke. He's looking for anybody in front. He's got Thompson in front. He's got McCarthy on the other side, looking out in front, but Lemke can't get a pass away. Good defensive play there by Aiden Pethick. Thompson has it now in the Espanola corner. Thompson, he's being hit hard there by Horgan. Good play from the assistant captain. Back come the Paper Kings looking for it, and a big collision between Dubois and now Cowell. And now Cowell and Dubois are still going after it. Delayed penalty now coming up to somebody, but the play is now on the other side of the ice. And now it looks like the Voodoos are going to get penalized. Dubois is going to go off for holding.
Cowell should get another penalty there. I don't know why can't a hit just be a hit? He's looking for more there. Look at he was trying to fight the Voodoos player after he hit him.
And he just came out of a 10-minute misconduct as well for the same thing.
Yeah.
But the fans not happy as, again, the Voodoos have not been on the right call of the penalty calls, and now they're going to be shorthanded again.
How does how does Cowell not take a penalty for that?
Yeah.
I guess they always get the retaliator, but still, I don't even know that there was much of retaliation by the Voodoos player there.
Either way, the Espanola now, the bench is slamming their sticks on the boards, trying to get their team going. Yeah. They've got 2 minutes to try to tie things up. 13 minutes to go in this hockey game. Here's Signoretti. He fans on his shot. Horgan not able to hold it, and the puck is able to just stay in the zone. Horgan now has it. Him and Signoretti on the point. Looking in front for Ferguson. But Horgan now has it again. He passes over to Dan Oden. Dan Oden, his shot. Good block there from Tucker Shields. Dan Oden has it behind the net. Dan Oden now over to Horgan. Horgan now looking for Signoretti at the high slot. Signoretti, his shot, but he fans again. It goes off Shields. He's holding his arm. He's going right off to the bench. As that's not good, we're going to have to, Shields, who just comes back from an injury, we're going to have to make sure he's okay, and that was just a stinger.
I think that one caught him right in the hand.
Yeah, and now that Dan Oden tries to get the zone, he does. Signoretti keeps it in. The Voodoos almost blocked it from coming in. Horgan keeps it in off the clearing attempt. Puck on the near side. Cowell has it. Cowell trying to send it back to Ferguson. Ferguson over to Signoretti, over to Horgan. Horgan, the high slot shoots, stopped by DeRoccolo. And the puck comes up and nobody can grab it. Cowell was right there on the doorstep. And if he scored, that would have been a very interesting play, as a lot of fans here think he should be in the box. As Cowell now sends it in front, but it goes right to a Voodoos player in Lemke, who sends it down. 47 seconds to go, and a hard-fought penalty kill so far for the Voodoos, as they do a good job blocking some shots.
Yeah, you got to hand it to this penalty kill. They're just sacrificing the body here to block everything that's directed on DeRoccolo.
Up comes Owen Ferguson. He's got one goal now. He gets taken down. He kind of goes off a stick that's in front, and that almost goes off lines and in. But he doesn't. Now here's a chance in front. A good stop. Puck's loose. And now the whistle goes as Ferguson's going after it. Now Ferguson's getting into a shoving match. Lines is also down there, I believe. We'll have to see which Voodoo players are involved in that. It looked like it was McClellan, but what an opportunity there. Gringerton almost had a perfect chance as that puck almost comes right loose to him, and we almost had a tie game.
Is it fair to say, Ben, that these two teams don't like each other much?
I wish you did the game with me, that when they had that, because I couldn't even describe what was happening.
God. It seems like every 2 minutes there's another scrum. Every whistle there's a gathering. I don't know.
This is tame.
Really?
This is tame, yeah. So the puck comes out, drops again. 20 seconds to go now in the penalty to the Voodoos. And now that's the points for Signoretti, trying to go in front. Thompson steals that. Now he gets tripped up. Finally, a penalty coming to the Voodoos, and the crowd is doing their kind of sarcastic cheer as a trip coming up to Owen Ferguson, who has been on all parts of the score sheet, the scoring side, the penalty side. He's going off to the box, and the Voodoos are going to, in 7 seconds, have their first power play of the game.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a sarcastic cheer from the Voodoos faithful here. The Voodoos finally getting their first power play of the game. Probably could have had a few by now, but we'll take this one.
Well, if anything, it'll kill another 2 minutes off the clock, as there's 11:09 to go in this game. Again, the Voodoos with a one-goal game and a one-goal lead, and you kind of, you're at this point where you're kind of watching. If you can get down to the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes, you get an empty net, you can seal it off.
Right.
But there's still a lot of time left before that. Face-off won by the Voodoos. Here's a chance from Ricci. His shot is stopped by Marois. Signoretti now holds it. He's just trying to kill some time as the power play now officially on. As it's a 5-on-4 now. They were 4-on-4 for about 7 seconds. Rafe Smith brings it up. He tries to send it to Ricci, but his pass not good in his own zone and be picked up by McMillan. So a little bit of rust here and a good poke check there from Booth. And Espanola being very aggressive here on this penalty kill, and it's kind of working, but now the Voodoos try to break into the zone. And they kind of have to be aggressive again to try to tie things up, maybe do it on a shorthanded goal, trying to catch the Voodoos with their guard down.
That's what you can do when you have the speed advantage. You can get aggressive on the penalty kill a little bit.
And if Espanola has anything, I don't know if there's a faster team in the NOJHL than the Espanola Paper Kings.
Right.
As Signoretti has it again, and he's just playing keep away at this point as he sends it now all the way around. This is how you kill a penalty. As Case plays it, he had to wait for the man to go off the ice before he could touch it, or else they would have gotten penalized.
About 40 seconds left on this power play, and the Voodoos have yet to get any zone time, offensive zone time.
But I think they will take the time off the clock as a consolation as well.
Right.
So puck now, the Voodoos have it in the Espanola zone. The shot comes in. It's easily stopped, steered away by Marois. Here's Smetham. Rafe Smith with it behind the net. He's got Smetham in front. Case back to the point for Lemke. Lemke's shot goes right into the glove of Marois, who holds on. And because at the Sportsplex we can't see the home penalties, there is less than a minute to go, but we don't know exactly how much time is left. 26 seconds.
It's a mystery. Who knows? But we'll find out shortly. I think there's about 20.
I believe
looks
it's
like
26.
I can see part of it too.
Yeah,
25, 26 seconds left.
Mike Brown, our cameraman here on Flow Hockey, is giving us updates as we have a really bad vantage point for that as the Zamboni doors kind of overtake it. Face-off won by the Voodoos as they're trying to get something going as Ferguson's getting ready to leave the box. Patrick with it in the corner. He sends it around, and it'll be McCarthy at the point. Less than 10 seconds on the power play. Here's Smetham. His shot goes right off the helmet of Marois. Now here's Lemke. He dances around. The puck's loose out in front. McCarthy has it. His shot. He scores! Darby McCarthy with a special from down south. Goes by the glove side and gives the Voodoos a big 2-goal advantage back, and it's 5-3 Powassan.
What a shot. An absolute lethal little snapper from McCarthy there. And the Voodoos did a good job of creating some pressure there on that power play, and you saw them go to work down low. They kind of hemmed Espanola in their own corner, and then a puck came out in front, went off the mask of Marois, bounced out into the slot. A couple of shots later, and it's in the back of the net.
What a shot from Darby McCarthy as he goes glove side. And even though it's a 2-goal lead and there's 9 minutes to go, though I do not believe that's a power play goal. I believe the power play penalty expired before that, but we'll have to get confirmation of that once the scoring updates.
Well, if it wasn't a power play goal, it was a direct result of the power play.
100%. It was very close. But we have seen the Paper Kings keep it close, so don't count them out yet. As speaking of which, Ferguson now breaks into the zone, chest on side, but McMillan steals it, and he's trying to break Smith out. Smith now, he's one-on-one with Rufa. Smith powers around Rufa. Smith still with it, goes around the back of the net, and now Rufa holds him. Everybody's asking for a hold. It's right in front of the refs. Nothing happens. Back come the Paper Kings. Rufa's shot goes wide. And if Rufa was the one to score there, I'm sure more of the Powassan faithful would have some words for the referees here.
Well, and not even as a Voodoos fan, as a hockey fan, there's probably been about 3 or 4 missed calls on Espanola this game.
Puck now in the Paper Kings corner. It's being held there by a pair of players from both teams. Trying to get play to go. It's McMillan who comes out of the scrum with it. McMillan has it, makes a nice little move around Signoretti. A little taste of his own medicine, you could say. Signoretti does that quite a bit. And now a errant shot from Smith is easily turned aside by Marois. Now Signoretti looking to dance around McClellan. Signoretti still has the puck. He's got Ferguson with him. He goes to Cowell. His shot goes wide. Ferguson still with it. A beautiful pass to Signoretti. His shot goes wide. And Rampersand keeps it in. Cowell turns it all the way around to Ferguson. And you know that being a former Voodoo player, he loves playing his former team. And you can tell he has a little bit of extra oomph in his step.
Great communication on the back end between McClellan and Zach Wilson there to change assignment there. McClellan knew he lost Signoretti, so.
Absolutely. Well, who doesn't lose Signoretti at this point?
Exactly.
As Espanola steals into the neutral zone, Van Uden, he tries to get a shot away. Good stick there, though, from Cameron Lemke as Lemke sends it down back into the neutral zone, but Van Uden keeps it from going all the way down. And now Reese Smetham trying to get a stick in there, but Van Uden gets all the way through. Good play from him using the body. He's trying to get out to Horgan, but a good stick there by Reese Smetham keeps it out. And the Voodoos are now going to try for a change as Horgan tries to bring up the other way, but he loses possession of the puck. And now it's stolen by Lemke, but you can tell he's a little bit out of gas here as he's near the end of his shift. But he's still able to kill some more precious time with 6:40 to go in this game. Now it's dumped down to Rocklow, steers that dump into the corner, and Case gives it up to McCarthy. Scored the latest goal for the Voodoos. McCarthy sends it up. McCarthy looking for more. He gets around his man. McCarthy looking for some help. He still has it. Now he leaves it off for Case. It goes into the corner. It's going to be Dubois looking for it. Dubois with a goal in this game as well. Paper Kings trying to get it out, but the Case keeps it in. His shot is easily saved by Marois, and now Ricci's going off for a change, so Case has to go all the way back, and it's going to be an icing call against the Paper Kings. 6:09 to go, 5-3 hockey game. And, Brad, we picked a good game to call.
This one's been fun.
Yeah.
And I don't actually think that I've seen the Voodoos lose yet this year, so maybe I'm the good luck charm. I need to call more of these games, I guess.
Well, it was supposed to be Matt Sukram calling this game, but he was not able to make it, so I kind of stepped up. And
his loss.
His loss,
This has been great.
So thank you, Matt. So Dubois takes the faceoff. He wins it for the Voodoos. Patrick has it. He sends it down into the corner, and there's Turner. Turner sends it around, and Sturge is going to pinch in to keep it in. And now Pethick for the Paper Kings just sends it all the way out, but not out as Rotundo keeps it in. Rotundo will just send it back the other way. But the Paper Kings looking to break out here. Saucier sends it into the Voodoo zone. Rotundo being chased by Saucier, plays it over to his partner Jaden Sturge, and Sturge is now going to try to play it out, but it gets off the backside of a Paper Kings player, and now here's Sari, who tries to come in. Turner trying to break out Patrick, but wasn't able to quite hit his man. Now Turner just sends it back, and it's picked up there by Short. Short tries to get it in, but he gets his pocket picked there by Patrick. Patrick now sends it in, but he's going to be on the wrong side. No, he's going to be on the right side of the red line apparently, but it'll be picked up by Marois for an offensive zone faceoff. As we get to our mid-period break with 5:18 to go, this is the Average Joe's Game Day Frontline broadcast on YouTube and Flow Hockey.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
So, Brad, we're winding down. We have about 5 minutes left in this hockey game. The Voodoos have a 2-point lead. And do you think there's still more fight in the Espanola Paper Kings? Do you think we're going to see another goal here in the next couple minutes from them?
I absolutely think that there's some more fight in the Espanola on the bench there. I think this game is far from over. We've seen the speed that Espanola has, and they can score in bunches quickly, I think. So Voodoos, through the first 55 minutes of this game, have defended very well. And you know that's what the defense, that's what the coach is talking right now on the bench. Defense, defense, defense.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick look at our players to watch who coming into this game, we said Owen Ferguson, who does have a goal in the game so far.
Does.
He's got a couple of penalties, but he's been kind of all off the ice. I would say Owen Ferguson, pretty good game so far. Not Lucas Signoretti level, but I would say he's probably been the second best player on the ice.
Well, he has. He scored that early goal for Espanola, but it seems like he's been off the ice more than on the ice with all the penalty. He took a couple penalties. He's had 10-minute misconduct, so really kind of limiting his effectiveness here in this game.
We also had Matthew McMillan on the other side. He's been left off the score sheet today, but his fellow Voodoo players have combined for 5 goals without him. As now Sari's offside, so this play resumes here with 5:10 to go. But I would say other than that, McMillan's had quite a few chances in this hockey game despite staying not having any points.
Well, I think that's just the way that it goes sometimes. And as long as you're contributing and the rest of your teammates are scoring goals, which they are, I mean, it feels like he's less concerned about his own stats and more concerned about getting a win for the Voodoos here. So.
Play gets back underway. Ricci has it in his own zone. He's being harassed there by Signoretti. Now behind it is Case. He's trying to break somebody out, but it's going to be a good play there by Thompson, who tries to come behind McMillan to make a play. Now, big play by Thompson to knock Sari off the puck. Ricci now trying to get it to McMillan. It goes off his stick, and it's kept in by the Espanola. The puck is loose. It's right there, and it's going to be DeRoccolo coming way out of his net to hold on, and then he promptly gets out of that scrum as Aiden Pethick was right there trying to knock it in.
There was a lot of traffic in front there. I don't think DeRoccolo saw the first shot, but you got a pad on it and definitely saw the second one, was able to cover up very smartly there and get a draw. But 4:42 left in the third. Look at have an eye for the Espanola goalie here, Marois. He may be heading to the bench very soon here with the 2-goal deficit.
Absolutely. 41-34 the shots, by the way, in favor of the Voodoos. Wow. It has been a very shot-filled affair. Both goalies have been great. Now, Andrew Galton did play about, we would say, 36 minutes or so of this hockey game. He looked fantastic, but he did give up back-to-back goals in a 2-minute span, so he got knocked out of the game. But Jake Marois has come in, and despite giving up 2 goals, he's also had his fair share of good saves.
Yeah, he's looked sharp, and he's done exactly what he's had to do to come in and kind of stop the bleeding for Espanola and give them a chance to get back in this. Well,
who else but Lucas Signoretti, who does have a goal. He had the third Paper Kings goal. He's causing more havoc there. Again, 4 minutes to go. If Espanola wants to come back, they're going to have to get a goal here pretty fast if they want to make this one tight.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye
And now
on
here's a
Marois.
chance for Reese Smetham. He's one-on-one with Horgan. Smetham tries to get around Horgan, but Horgan does a good job boxing him out. Now his pass out in front for McCarthy, but he couldn't quite get a stick on it. And Lemke sends it back into the corner. McCarthy trying to get it over to Smetham, but his pass is no good. And now here's Horgan. Horgan loves to jump on that rush, and now he has an opportunity. A good kick there from Chase Thompson as the puck was loose in his skates, and he was able to kick it clear. Jaden Sturge brings it up for the Voodoos. He's just going to dump in, let the team change.
Yeah, fresh legs is what it's all about at this point.
Time still winding down. 3:20 now to go. Espanola trying to break into the zone. Aiden Rufo with a goal in this game as well. He dumps it in. But the Voodoos just play that quickly as the Paper Kings change, and Rampersand picks it up in his own zone after a clearing attempt from the Voodoos. Espanola looks to reset again. And again, a lot of dump and chase right now as Ryan Patrick picks it up in his own zone, and he sends that one off the referee, which actually works out in the Voodoos zone as Tucker Shields brings it up. It's good to see him back on the ice after leaving earlier in this period with an apparent hand injury.
Well, we're seeing the Voodoos dumping in a lot, too. They're just playing the kill the clock game at this point.
Absolutely, and it is in their favor as it's going to be hard for Espanola to try to find the back of the net twice now, and now that was outside behind the play. Turner goes down.
Chincelli hit him, cone to the net. That looked a little dirty, but.
And again, there's no call, and I'm sure that'll be something that people will say on their way home.
Of course there's no call. There hasn't been all game.
As I don't know who's more upset, the fans or Brad. But either way, the Voodoos have not been hampered by by the penalties either, as they've still found 5 behind in the back of the net. And if they can hold on to win, they'll now lead the season series between these two teams 3-2. Puck in the neutral zone now, 2 minutes to go. Here's Rafe Smith. Smith breaking in, makes a nice move around Horgan. Smith still can't go it. He's saying he's being hooked, but no call, and that's, again, right in front of Charlie Giesler, the referee. Now Rotundo sends it around. McClellan has it. He's just trying to get it out. McMillan is able to get it over to Thompson. Thompson now over to Smith. Smith again. One-on-one with Horgan again. Smith now he gets hooked down again. His arms go up looking for another call, but nothing happening. But here's McCarthy. McCarthy's got Smith in front. McCarthy loses the handle on the puck. It comes loose on the side of the net. And it's going to be brought up the other way by Kyle Denoden. He brings it up. 1:19 to go now, and I wouldn't be shocked to see Marois leave his net, but as it's going to be an offensive zone draw, 5-3 Voodoos, and this might be the last chance the Paper Kings have, and Marois staying in his net for now.
78 seconds left on the clock and a 2-goal deficit. I'm surprised to see. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there he
Marois
goes.
heading to the bench now with the offensive zone faceoff for the Paper Kings, but apparently the Paper Kings can do whatever they want in this game. They're not going to get called for it, but Ray Smith, another couple chances on that last shift as a result of 2 gorgeous backhand saucer passes from Chase Thompson.
I was going to say, if they didn't pull their goalie, they're kind of conceding defeat in a way, as McCarthy sends it down. He's looking for the empty net, but it's no good. It's going to be an icing call, so we're going to play the game of get it out, ice the puck, and hope to kill some of the clock. Very similar to the NBA when they finish off with just fouling each other until the end of the game.
Yeah, they don't care how many whistles and how many faceoffs they have to take at this point. Just kill the clock 6 seconds at a time.
So 70 seconds to go in the game. 5-3 Voodoos. Very close to getting a big victory here at home. They've only got 2 games left before the 2-week Christmas break. Puck comes back to the point. Horgan sends it over to Rufa. Now a minute to go. Stick's going flying in the air as chaos here. The sorry stick goes up. Ferguson leaves it there for Booth. Now here's Horgan from the point. It's blocked by Lemke, and he felt that as he's limping, but he's able to keep it up. Here's Case. Sends it up for Lemke. He's going to try for the empty net. Lemke, but his good block from Horgan keeps it out. But with 37 seconds to go, hope is dwindling here for Espanola. They need to find the back of the net twice. And now more hits behind the net, more jeering between these two. I'm sure when that final whistle goes, there's going to be something that's going to happen.
We might see some extracurriculars when the final buzzer goes in 20
Absolutely.
seconds.
The Voodoos bench chirping, the Espanola bench chirping. Horgan now is shot, and that goes off the bunch of bodies in front. 12 seconds to go, and that's going to pretty much do it for this hockey game. So it's going to be the Voodoos. One last shot from Horgan. That goes all the way down. Chest misses the empty net. And that'll be icing with 2.5 to go. So with this game basically over, it looks like the Voodoos are going to pick up a big 2 points with a 5-3 victory over the Espanola Paper Kings. And coming into this game with these back-and-forth games, exactly what the doctor ordered, especially with your head coach Gar.
Yeah, a good effort by both squads and 2 very gifted offensive teams. And you know, for the first half of the game, we didn't really see it. And it sort of picked up in the last half.
And that's the buzzer, so the game is official. The Voodoos pick up a big 2 points. They are now 2 points behind the Timmins Rock. Both teams have played 29 games. So the Voodoos are going to come back on Friday, so in 2 days' time, to play here at home against the Greater Sudbury Cub, which is going to be huge. Brad, last thoughts in this hockey game?
Well, I think we saw It was really a tale of two games. The first 30 minutes were it's just sort of kind of feeling each other out. There was some back and forth action, but no goals, not a ton of chances. And then the last 30 minutes of the game, we saw all kinds of goals, all kinds of scrums, all kinds of what we expected.
So we're just waiting here to hear the 3 stars of the game. As they come out, we see Courtney Kenny down there on the ice, looking to get some socials, looking to get our McDonald's player of the game as well, which you can see on socials following the broadcast. So for our next broadcast here on the Frontline tomorrow, we have the after-action report following the Battalion game as they take on the Kingston Frontenacs. As Kingston comes to play, it's going to be the first time the Centurion jerseys get brought out by the Battalion, though they're doing it against the team that has the same colors. So that was kind of an interesting thing. You can also check out a new episode of the Frontline podcast that dropped earlier today, as well as myself and Courtney got a chance to talk to a couple of great players. Braden Turley, now in his second year defenseman, and Jacob Tarian, who's picked up 21 points. So taking a look at the 3 stars of the game, the 3rd star is going to be picked up by Darby McCarthy, who got the 5th goal of the game. And the 1st star is going to be down to Cameron Lemke, who picked up a pair of points as well in this hockey game. So it was a 5-3 victory for the Powassan Voodoos, 41-36 the finals, the shots. For Courtney Kenny and Brad Brooks, I'm Ben Sargent saying thank you very much. Our next Average Joe's Frontline game day broadcast is going to come Friday as the Powassan Voodoos take on the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Again, thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday evening. I hope you have a great rest of the night, and hope to see you tomorrow night for the after-action report. Have a great night as we sign off here. You're watching the Average Joe's Game Day Frontline broadcast.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.